Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin vanguarding vice, and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, the visageois of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it is my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V, in the land of oppression, the United Kingdom.
Voel jy asof die lewe sonder jou aangaan einde wat ek sonder twyfel weet. Jy is nie net 'n nommer nie, en jy is deel van die groter prentjie. Daar's 'n rede dat jy lewe, 'n doel vir jou bestaan. Daar's 'n plekkie in die son vir jou en my, 'n plekkie elkeen het 'n doel gekry. Al voel jy soos 'n sandkorreltjie klein wat in die grootste duin verdwyn. Jy vat my die hoogste hoogte se, in die adem, in die ander in die wind. Ons allemaal is maar sandkorreltjies klein, maar saam is ons die mooiste dag. Jy weet, baie druppels maak 'n brander, en jy weet, die son skyn oor ons allemaal in die einde, wat ek sonder twyfel in
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know?
What can be unburdened by what has been.
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 What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been. What can be.
Going to my mind's going blank now. What's happening? What I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I heading? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. Last night on the television, I was on a telephone rapidly rising and with I don't know. COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's lives reflected in the NHEI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him, we're going to seize the ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make that near and dear to you that you would like to be able to. Anyway. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I heading? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. I don't think as the idea that political coverage. I want to thank and recognize Dr. John Kingersong. That song. I can't get this to function at all. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I heading? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. No idea. No idea. No idea.
Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report, and he assured me that St. Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Welcome back, folks. Sunday, August 11th, 2024. This is Chris live in central Pennsylvania. The weekend has come and gone for many people around the world. In Australia, it's already tomorrow. And in New Zealand, same thing. Japan, it's still today. In South Africa, where it's early evening and people are either having a braai or coming in. Thanks for tuning in. To those in Ireland and Australia, New Zealand, China, Nepal, and all the countries around the world, including Finland. Where has Laurie Lettinen been? We have not seen Laurie in ages from Finland. He's been missing. Welcome back to the program, folks, on this Sunday. Well, I do need to show you a video. The out-of-control Secret Service is feral, just like the Federal Bureau of Incompetence and Department of No Land Security. These people are completely out of control. These bureaucrats are criminals. Their conduct is reprehensible. Here's the latest cock-up by our Secret Service thugs. This is a Secret Service agent who takes a piece of masking tape and covers up a security camera, and then the Secret Service breaks into a beauty salon so they can piss. So they steal a beauty salon's property for 4 hours so people can piss and use their latrine. This is unbelievable. These people are criminals. They're not defending president and protected individuals. They are criminals. There is no excuse whatsoever for this. You want to use this facility, you contact the owner and you ask permission. You do not cover up the security cameras and break into their facility. Now, you can make the argument security cameras are necessary to protect individuals, but this is bullshit. This isn't a Harris Waltz rally that these scumbags do this. Look at this video. This is unbelievable. It's beyond comprehension, ladies and gentlemen, what the Secret Service is up to. This was at 8:12 in the morning. Look at the agent. She rips some tape out. Another one is incompetent DEI hires. You hear the masking tape, the 100-mile-an-hour tape ripping. And look at this. And there you have our Secret Service at work. Now it jumps forward. They edit it. That's 11 o'clock now. 12 o'clock. Unbelievable, folks. This is unbelievable. 4 p.m., 4:48 it goes to. This is our Secret Service. Oh, here we go. And finally, the tape is taken off. What time did they take the tape off? Here it is. Around 4:48, they come and take the tape off. Or it fell off, one of the two. Look at this. And suddenly, maybe it fell off. And the camera comes back into focus. These are criminals. This is the Secret Service taking actions in support of a political party candidate. This is misuse of government resources beyond comprehension. This is nonsense. Utter nonsense, folks. Utter nonsense. Speaking of utter nonsense, my day was interrupted repeatedly yesterday for political parties. Number one, the demon rats came and bothered me by ringing my doorbell 4 times during the day and then beating on my door twice. I don't want your garbage. I don't vote for people who are racist and bigots and pretend to protect people. Your fake concern for homosexuals, your fake concern for Muslims. You're just a bunch of evil twits. And this television personality Janelle Stelton will not be getting my vote. Scott Perry will get my vote. He is a patriot. There we have a demon rat. I am not interested. Are you watching? Stop bringing me your garbage. You're wasting your time. I don't even think she's appealing in any way whatsoever. And then they also sent me this, one of my opponents, but not really an opponent because I didn't win. But this is the Democrat who's running in the seat that I was trying to win, Talon Alimony. And it's cute how they put a little circle there with an X. You can vote for him. He's a Democrat with crazy ass, ridiculous ideas, but it seems like a decent human being. Much better than my opponent who cheated and won the primary in the Republicans. So Dan Alimony, I might vote for him, except I'm probably going to write myself in. So I'm not going to vote for him. And I don't know who this guy is here. But I'm not interested. Not interested. Just because of the behavior of the Democrats beating on my door. So normally I look, but they've got all kinds of things here. Let's see what they've got here for me to look at here. They've got 4 candidates telling me how to vote. I can come to the Northern New York Democratic Committee meetings to learn how to help you vote. Last day to register is October 21st. Last day to apply for the scumbag mail-in ballot or the legitimate federal absentee ballot is October 29th. Election day is November 5th. Yeah, so you can get an absentee ballot all the way up to the 29th of October. That is interesting. So they sent me a phone number, and they've got some links here, and they're telling me who I should vote for right there. Unfortunately, most of these people will not be getting my vote. They've got Attorney General for Auditor Malcolm Kenyatta. I'm sorry, we're not in Kenya. So the Kenyatta family is from Kenya. No, thank you. If you have that surname, that's a made-up surname, by the way. So the Demon Rats, no, thank you. You'll not be getting my vote. There you go. Yeah, Slippery Pickle's a Russian bot, in case you didn't know that. And then I received a letter from Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a letter that came to me from Donald Trump. Okay, there you go. Came to me from the Trumpster. Make America Great. That letter actually got a stamp on it, helping the post office out there. Let's open it up. I'll open it with you, folks. The Trump National Committee. Let's see what they want. Do they want money? Do they want time? Do they want me to do something? Or do they just want my vote? They've already got my vote. Let's see. President Donald John Trump, the Trump Make America Great Again survey. So it's a survey. They want me to answer this survey. Okay, so I need your help, and I need it now. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the radical left are ramping up their massive nonstop propaganda campaign to destroy me, the Republican Party. Yep. When I was president, we had the greatest economy and country in the world. In a very short time, they destroyed it. So he does actually give us policies, unlike the Democrats. All they give us pretty pictures. They didn't give me any policies to vote for. So he runs through a whole page asking for me to answer the survey. And then he gets here, and we've actually got issues. They're addressing the issues. That's what you should be doing as a political candidate. He's got national security, strengthening America's military, build the wall, and immigration reform, energy independence, appointing conservative judges, less government across the board. And there you go. So then they also ask for money back here. You can donate. Unfortunately, I'm not donating to any political candidates because you clowns, whether it's any of them, have driven me to not destitution, but I'm not exactly rolling in the hay right now because of this inflation and the destruction. And all the taxes that come up here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are kicking my butt. So not going to do that. Anyway, there you go. So that's my weekend's been interrupted by stuff like that. Consistency is considered bot. Own it. Okay, I'm not sure what that's all about. Welcome. I'm going to get to everybody in the chat here in just a moment. Let me get back over here to my studio. Got it. 60 people, 83 people here. By the way, folks, I went to the supermarket yesterday to get something. Was it yesterday or Friday? Maybe it was Friday. I went to the supermarket and bought some donuts. I hadn't had donuts in a while, so that was tasty. It must have been Friday because I had that on during the rugby game. And also I found something that I haven't had, I think, since I was a kid. These used to come in smaller ones. They were called Hugs. And no, they're not Hugs, but they're just drinks. They're flavored drinks. They're terrible. They're not good for you. They're sugary, but as a kid, I loved them. And they came with tin foil, a plastic little, it was like a barrel, like a water barrel or a beer barrel. It looked like that. It was shaped like that, the plastic. And then they had foil on top, and you peel the foil off and you drink it. Now they've put a plastic cap on top, and they've got a big one, which is called a Big Hug fruit barrel. Look at that. Big Hug. That is a big one, man. Much bigger than it used to be. It used to be like this big, and they had a little foil on top, and then it was pretty cool. A narrow mouth on it like this. So this one's a blue raspberry. They never had blue raspberry when I was a kid. At least I don't recall that. So let me see if I can just pull the plastic off, and if it works. It's pretty tasty. No raspberries in there, of course, but wow. Got myself a hug. All right, let's say hello to everybody in the chat on this lovely Sunday, and then we'll get into some of the news. We've got Paul Kagame, sworn in as president yet again in Rwanda. We've got Tim Waltz trying to backtrack on his weapons of war comment when he tried to mislead people with stolen valor. But let's get to it. Dylan Comberg is here. Misty, welcome, Misty. You're making me misty. Petra Myberg is back in from Fellow-Drift, or as I was told to pronounce it, but no one told me whether it's a joke or not, but Fellow-Drift. Sedgefield is in here from the Garden Route, giving us a weather report. John Jarvis wants to know which rugby. I answered it. Hopefully that took care of it. And Paulie, the brains behind the operation, is very apt Union Jack. I thought that was pretty good. Did you like that intro? I'm going to record a video. That sounded really good. When I switched over, I listened to it real quick, the last few seconds of it on my mobile, and I was like, man, that sounds like a good voice. I'm going to read that and do a video. Teresa, Mark Byberg, Garrett Gillich, Gypsy Backpackers, Misty, Alan Coates, a Clive Streak, George Steinberg in from Heckport, Loading Monday in from Howick, Gypsy Backpackers, Teresa, Garrett Gillich in from Somerset West, Ulrich Fenter in from somewhere, and Alan Coates' Biden thing is amusing the first few times. Now it's just irritating. Nah, it's a great song, man. My mind's going blank now. What the hell's going on here? Can't get this thing to work. I'd like to thank Dr. John Kinga song, Dr. John Kinga song, Chaka Khan. I feel for you. Oh, man, come on. You got to take a joke there, Alan. Bystander says it's a banger. Cool beans. Paul Farrell, nice to catch you live. It is, Paul. Good to see you, man. How's it going? I'm loving the way Kamala is busy telling people what she will do when she's elected. She's clearly forgotten what she could have done this stuff. Exactly. She's the vice president. She can do it now. And Joe was not really all there, so she can do anything right now, and she's going to do it when she's president. I'm going to lower inflation. No, you're not. You can drive inflation, but you can't lower it. Gold with Roger Moore. Don't know it? Moonbass ZA, welcome back. Hendo is here at Slippery Pickle. And what else we got there? Is it single or twin ply paper? I have no idea what Monray's talking about there. All right. Eric is here. Hello, Eric. How's it going? Grasshopper. And Helen Rich. Hey, Helen. Always a pleasure. Good to see you there. And who else we got here? Gray's Wolf. Government is coming for all training institutions discrediting companies. This is how they will disarm thousands at a time. What is Madamole? Mike, welcome in from Philadelphia. Why can't I get more U.S. viewers of late? My U.S. viewership is down a bit. African Idiot. Hola, amigos. All the way from Ruibag. Welcome to you. Hola. Some frogs can change themselves. Can they really? Hester Coates is here. Excellent. All right. Well, folks, there you have it. Should we cover some news or you got some questions? Been a great weekend. The Olympics is over. The Olympics is over, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's done and dusted. No more Olympics. We have finished it. The closing ceremony will probably be something horrendous, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But the final, USA wins the gold medal match in basketball. What a game. France takes a shot at the buzzer, and she makes it. But she stepped over the line clearly before she even launched it, and it's a two-pointer, or she could have tied it 67-66. It's the toughest gold medal finish for the USA women in cycling and track in the women's omnium. Points race, 4x4. Jennifer Valente got a gold for the USA. She got the penultimate gold for the USA. In water polo, Serbia beats Croatia, and USA beat Hungary. Hungary comes away with no medal in water polo. Wow, what a shocker. And the USA women choke in women's volleyball match against Italy, losing 3 games to none. And they get the silver medal in volleyball. Otherwise, we could have beaten the Chi-Coms, who got a medal today in weightlifting, women's 81 kg. Li Wenwen won the medal there. But we did win the bronze medal match in men's water polo. Handball, Spain got the bronze against Slovenia. Man, oh man, what a day, what a day. And that was today's Olympics. And that's final score in the Olympic medal table. Let's take a look at where that is in the Olympic medal table. I'll bring that over here to this screen, and we'll touch base on it. South Africa winds up with 6 medals. USA with 126 medals. There you go. A far cry from our 200-plus medals back at the turn of the 20th century, but there were almost no countries involved in it then. So USA with 40 gold, 44 silver, 42 bronze, takes the victory lap over the Chinese communists, who get 40 gold medals. That's 100 medals between USA, China, and Japan. That's crazy. Cray-cray for the golds. 100 golds between them. And 250 medals, almost 250 medals between those 3 countries total. Japan comes in third. Then is Australia, France, Netherlands, Great Britain, Republic of Korea, Italy with 40 medals, Germany 33, New Zealand with 20, Canada with 27. Uzbekistan has an amazing 13 medals for such a tiny, broke-ass country. Hungary with 19, Spain with 18, Sweden with 11, Kenya with 11. Good performance by Kenya. Their best African performance is Kenya. Norway with 8, Ireland with 7. Ireland women's team in that 4x100 meter relay had second place until the end. They finished 4th. What a heartbreaker for them. And the Iranian fascist regime, 12 medals. Ukraine, 12. Romania, 9. Georgia, 7. Belgium, 10. Bulgaria, 7. Serbia, 5. Czech Republic, 5. Denmark, 9. Azerbaijan gets 7 medals, including 2 golds. Croatia, 7. Cuba, 9. Bahrain, 4. Slovenia, 3. Taiwan with 7 medals, falsely called Chinese Taipei here. Österreich with 5 medals, including 2 golds. Well done. Hong Kong with 4 medals, Philippines with 4, Algeria with 3, Indonesia with 3, Israel with 7, Poland with 10, Kazakhstan with 7, Jamaica 6, and coming in 44th with a single gold medal won by Tatiana Schoonmaker, now known as Tatiana Smith. South Africa with a gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze. And since it's only 6 medals, we'll cover that. Athletics, they got 2 medals. In the men's 4x100 relay, South Africa got a silver. The women's javelin throw, and a huge surprise, Johan van Dijk gets a silver medal. Congratulated by Cyril Ramaphosa, no less. And in the cycling, mountain bike, cross country, Alan Hathley got himself a bronze. That was a surprise. The men got a bronze in the 7s. Given how poor the team was, that's actually a good performance. And in swimming, Tatiana Smith, nay Schoonmaker, got a gold in the women's 100-meter breaststroke, and then a silver in the 200. She reversed her performance from the last Olympics. Tatiana Schoonmaker with 2 medals there, and South Africa comes away with 6, and that's your Olympic tally. Well, folks, that's not bad, eh? Not bad. USA had to rely on men and women getting gold in the basketball in order to tie the Chinese communists with 40 gold medals, better than our performance in the last several Olympics, and the most medals we've won in the modern era. More medals than Los Angeles, more medals than in... what's the other one there? Anyway, most medals we've had in the modern era, with the exception of Los Angeles, which I don't count because the Soviets didn't participate, so we got an inordinate number of golds we shouldn't have got, and medals there. But this is our best medal performance in a century. It's incredible. Grasshopper's a huge fan of the breaststroke. Really? You like the breaststroke, do you there, Grasshopper? All right, well, the breaststroke is an important event. It is indeed. What does this discredit one single training institution, revoke thousands of league? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about there. Is the South African Ministry of Home Affairs trying to disarm South Africans, and it's not being reported by the press? A bystander said, I'm training for the female boxing. I decided to be a female and come. That's right. Yep. Mr. Punisher's here. Welcome to you. Diane McMeekin is back. Would reduce the golds by half. What's that? What did Garrett say? Oh, no Russians. Yeah, well, the Russians participated, but as individuals, not as a country. These thugs don't want us to practice our skills. Listen, Neil, to be around business. I Okay, I haven't heard it. Neil sent me the link, but I haven't seen it. I've been a little bit busy with rugby and other things and Curry Cup. So we had a great game. The Springboks finally break the bad streak in Brisbane, winning for the first time in donkey years. They won in Brisbane convincingly. Was it 33-7? A try that never should have scored. Should have been a big goose egg for the Wallabies, but they got one late. Yellow cards galore. I mean, Luke Pearce did everything he could to disarm the South Africans, gave out 3 yellow cards, all of which were suspect, and particularly the one against Marco van Staden, and then the one to Jesse Creel was just unjust. He had made a legitimate effort to get the ball. He was going up for the ball, not knocking it down. Utter bullshit. And 3 yellow cards handed out to Springboks to gift a penalty, or gift a try to the Wallabies. The Wallabies gave up 3 penalties within 5 meters within less than a minute, and they were warned by Luke Pearce. The Springboks gave up a penalty at midfield, and they were warned for multiple penalties. That was the first penalty in that possession. And then the second penalty down by the 22, not even stopping a try, was given a yellow card to Marco van Staden. Utter nonsense. 4 Curry Cup games, a 55 performance twice in a row from the Lions, and also previously by the Bulls. And then we also had a 40-point performance today. So Curry Cup standings, the Bulls remain at top of it with 26 points. Then come the Lions with 23. The Cheetahs also up there. And then come the Pumas, and the list goes down. The Sharks have improved from nothing now, and they've moved up in the table, doing very well. And below them come the hapless Griquas and Griffins. Yes, who cannot play consistently. There you go. Historical development, something to comment on further. What do you mean, Hakan Engman? Are you coming in late? Did you miss what I put on the screen, or you want me to go further commenting on this? Do you want me to comment on that? That'll probably get you put in jail if you live in the UK. I did not see that slippery pickle. Did not see that. Did not see it. I was busy watching the female boxer jump up and down and watching her junk go up and down. What? Yes, indeed, Hakan. Yeah, Great Britain has gone. It's gone, folks. They've arrested a whole bunch of people. Now, these memes, I can't speak to the veracity of them, but this is a meme that's being sourced online, and this is what they're saying. So Russia, of course, is known as a fascist totalitarian state, according to the Washington Post, The Guardian, the British government, the Biden regime, Emmanuel Macron, Olaf Scholz in Germany. All of these people call the Russians a fascist regime who lock people up illegitimately. Never mind the fact that Brittany Griner was carrying drug paraphernalia into Russia. The druggie took the stuff in there. She got to compete in the Olympics today. And we just got Paul Whelan back a couple days ago after spending nearly 5 years in prison, courtesy of his patriotic service to the United States and his role as potentially a CIA asset and a former Marine. He spends time in jail while this scumbag America-hating druggie, Brittany Griner, gets out after a short period of time when she actually committed crimes. But Russia is called a fascist state. I think it's a fascist state. But there is a stark comparison. I don't know how true this is, and so I'm just going to share it with you so you can see it. But this is what's being shared on social media now, and I don't know how true this is. But anyway, just so you've got it. You can see this is the kind of stuff going around social media right now. And so this is a meme on social media claiming that there have been 411 arrests for social media in Russia over the conflict. But there have been over 3,300 social media arrests in the UK in just the past week or so. If that's true, that's shocking to say the very least. Yes, the USA is on the same path. We were very much on the same path as the United Kingdom, surrendering our country, our sovereignty, our social cohesion, our unity, our language, our morals, our mores, our values are being obliterated by uncontrolled, unconstrained criminal alien invasion in this country. When you let people in this country, you let a number of people in this country that's manageable, that doesn't impact and drive down the price of labor, that doesn't drive up the price of housing, that doesn't drive inflation. You allow them to come in and fill gaps in the economy and in social fabric that they contribute to the country. That's why we allowed millions of Germans and Irish to come to this country, because the Irish came as laborers, the Germans came as craftsmen and workers and brewers and farmers, and made a difference in taking over what was, from a commercial standpoint, virgin land. Yes, when we have the argument about who is occupying it, that's not really Germany right now. And that's why we allowed that immigration. Then we allowed lots of people to come in later on who fueled our industrial revolution and filled the factories, the Italians, the Eastern Europeans who came in, the Slovenes, the Serbs, the Croats, the Hungarians, the Poles, the Czechs who came in here, the Belarusians, the Russians, the Russian Jews who fled Europe and came here in the late 19th century and early 20th century, fueling our economic growth, contributing to our society. All of them are Americans. Their descendants now are Americans. They speak English, not these foreign languages, and they are patriotic. Now we are allowing tens of millions of criminal alien invaders to invade our country who have no desire to be Americans, who want to force Sharia law in a Judeo-Christian country. We have these scumbags destroying our public property, raising Palestinian flags, and an insurrection at Union Station in Washington, D.C., while the police stand by and do jack shit. This is what's going on in this country. It's already happening. It isn't new, and it's been developing for over 40 years as the U.S. allowed these scumbags to come in from the Middle East and implant themselves in our society, birth offspring here like Rashida Tlaib, who hate this country and pillage this country with their vicious, vile vicissitude of violent, vitriolic garbage. I didn't have a word for V with the last part there. What do you say for something garbage with a V? I don't know a word. Anyway, so I'm probably buffering because I'm talking about the United Kingdom, the United Queendom. Yep. I know what I'm allowed to say or chant now in the UK. Long live Big Brother, long live Brother. There you go, Keith Alderson. Be very careful what you say in the chat. They will come after you, no doubt. No doubt. There is no freedom of speech. There is no liberty. There is no freedom in the United Lockdown. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. The United Lockdown. This is a fascist country led by scumbag rulers who arrest grandmothers for retweeting something. Remember when the British veteran Darren Hadley, I think his name was, 2 years ago was arrested because, and on a weekend they came and arrested him because he retweeted a meme in which somebody took the gay pride flag and put it in the shape of a Hakenkreuz. Now, I didn't repeat that because I thought it was rude. It was cute. It was funny, but it was also a rude thing to do, so I didn't retweet it. But in the UK, that would get you a jail sentence. Hearing every accurate word, sickened. Yep. The violent vicissitudes, the vichyssoise, the verbose verbiage of violent, victorious, vile villains. Yep, there you go. Boy, I could throw a lot of those V words out there. V, what a prophetic movie. What an absolutely prophetic movie V was 20 years ago. Wow, that is spot on. Long live Oceania, says Slippery Pickle. Where are you going to live in Oceania? Tonga? Get taken out by an earthquake on the Ring of Fire? The Ring of Fire goes down, down, down. That Ring of Fire. Yeah, Vendetta. What a great movie that was. Yes, it wasn't called V. It was V for Vendetta. All right. Theories and point of views are so tested, common denominators that we all bleed red blood. Arguments worldwide will always be a back and forth, no resolve pinball. Well, not necessarily. Ask the millions of people murdered in the Chinese Cultural Revolution. There's no going back and forth for those 30 million people who were butchered. Ask the 20 million Soviet citizens who were butchered by Stalin. Ask the 65,000 military officers who were shot in the back of the head during the purge in 1936. They have no recourse. Ask the 15,000 British or Polish intellectuals, military officers, former government members, former prime ministers executed in the Katyn forest and 3 other forests by the Soviet forces. Unbelievable. People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. Correct, V, for Vendetta. That is correct. Governments should be afraid of people because governments rule with the consent of the governed, not the other way around. But look at South Africans. Oh, we want service delivery. We want service delivery. Marching and demanding the government give them those basic services that they should provide for themselves, like rubbish removal, water, electricity. These are things you should provide for yourself through private corporations in the capital sector, not through the government. The government is not responsible for that. The government is responsible for ensuring a level playing field so that everyone is treated the same and equally. And when they're not, it's also there to provide a recourse when you've been cheated or denied your rights. When a business cheats you out of something, you must have a recourse, a legal mechanism to go after the people who defrauded you. That's what it's all about. Tulsi Gabbard was put in the 3-letter watch. Yes, the 4-letter watch list. I saw that. Tulsi Gabbard, she went on Joe Rogan or something like that and moaned about how every time she flies, she's got a boarding pass with 4 S's on it. 4 S's on it. Well, that's because she has been speaking out against the regime. This is what political governments do when they're violent. Did anybody have a quadruple S put on their boarding pass when Trump was in government because they were an opponent? Did that ever happen? No. No journalist that ever happened to. No political op that never happened to Nancy Pelosi. Never happened to Chucky Schumer, the Crypt Keeper. Never happened. Never happened to the rhinos like Liz Cheney or Adam Kinzinger. They went about there. They had freedom. We had a free country. They were free to express their opposition to Donald Trump, no matter how vile and repulsive they were. They were free to do it. But now, if you speak out against this criminal cabal in D.C., illegitimate government in Washington, D.C. under Joe Biden, and the next illegitimate government under Kamala Harris, who was selected, not elected. Kamala Harris was not elected. The defrauded, stolen primary season from Democratic voters, 14.5 million Democrats voted for Joe Biden. They're morons, but that's their problem. But these morons were defrauded of their vote when Kamala Harris was selected, not elected, because Joe Biden can't walk and chew gum. But you know what? Neither can Cackles Harris. I have been unburdened by what has been. Really? Really? Well, let's be unburdened by Kamala Harris and let her consign her to the dustbin of history. All the conservative frauds like Carol Rove and all these other lunatics, Frank Luntz, not a conservative, coming out and making all these fraud. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. Well, you're a moron. You're an absolute moron. Your head's so far up your ass, you're sniffing it. Who in their right mind could vote for Kamala Harris? The woman is a total fraud, a complete made-for-television candidate who can't even perform in front of the camera like a trained chimpanzee or a French poodle. Ooh, no, that's not racist. That's an expression. Get over yourselves. We can no longer provide service for ourselves in each city. Our council tax goes into a central government purse. Marxism. Exactly. They take your money, they scarf it up, and they spend it. And then they spend money they don't even have. Look at Washington, D.C. Joe Biden's federal deficit for 2025 in a budget of $7.4 trillion. No, I didn't mumble. Not million, not billion, but $1 trillion. $7.4 trillion. $2 trillion doesn't exist. They're going to borrow that money from the capital markets, sucking it out of the economy so that we can't borrow money. That's $2 trillion not available for people to borrow. And then driving up the interest rates because they can. And impoverishing hundreds of millions of people around the world. Because what happens in America happens everywhere. If America catches a cold, the rest of the world gets the sniffles. That's the bottom line. You don't believe me? When we stop buying cocoa or tea or coffee from Ethiopia or from Colombia coffee, or we stop buying bananas from Ivory Coast, we stop buying cocoa from Ivory Coast and Ghana, who suffers? Not me. I just go without cocoa for a few days. I don't eat bananas anyway. But the people who do that in those countries, they're the ones that suffer the downstream effects of the idiotic decisions taken in Washington, D.C. and these clowns. Wow. Unbelievable. Updates on Ronaldo. Okay, James Dupes. It's Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo. And I don't follow Ronaldo. He's a Portuguese soccer player. I have zero interest in that. I have no interest in that whatsoever. I did watch the Americans for a little bit when they won in the gold medal game against Spain, but not really my cup of tea. Any updates on Ronaldo? Yes, I think that's what you meant, James. Not picking on you, but just making sure it's clear. It's Ronaldo. Ronaldo, I heard from him earlier. I wrote to him. He's doing well, very busy, and he's hoping that he'll be back on social media soon. He has not promised me an exclusive interview. My feelings are very hurt. Ronaldo can go foot sec. No, just teasing. Oh, yeah, I'm on TikTok. I've been on TikTok forever. It sucks. Yeah, no, I've been on TikTok for ages. In fact, let me get the TikTok up on my screen because actually the app there. Let me see if it'll come up on there. TikTok. Am I signed in? Yeah, here I am, signed in. Okay, lady, I don't want to. Whoa, she doesn't look too shabby. So remember that time when you chanted to globalize the Intifada? Okay. Anyway, so this is my TikTok there. I do have a TikTok, and there's my account, view profile. There you go. And well, hey there, TikTok. It's been a while since I put it. Well, hey there, TikTok. It's been a while since I put a video up. A couple months, in fact. It's been busy, including a trip to South Africa recently to cover South Africa's elections. On Election Day, I visited 12 polling stations in the Western Cape, starting in Somerset West, and 5 polling stations in Khayelitsha for the black supremacists and hate wankers who make their false claims about who people are and where they go. You can stop. So that's my tickety-talk right there. I have 12,700 followers, But that's bullshit. I've had 12,000. Why won't that go up higher? Okay, there you go. What's this? We've updated our community guidelines to help TikTok. Screw you. I don't care about you. So Africa Matters. I have several TikTok channels. One I can't get into anymore. I got logged out of it. That's my Rugby Ascendant one. But Africa Matters, the Wyatt Army. I have 12,700 followers, but that's BS. TikTok is a censorship platform, and I'm not a fan of it, but I do videos on there. I tried it, and I had thousands of people watching my live streams, and then some scumbag reported me, and because they didn't like what I said about the Chinese communists, and then I got a strike, and they took my video off, and then I tried it again later on, and I just had evil people come on there. So the live streams, unless you're screaming and shouting, and people aren't coming on or showing your tits or something like that, and my tits aren't that attractive, so I don't show them online. Is she still active? She's not a colonel. No, she's not a colonel. First off, whoever just put that up there, Tulsi Gabbard's never been a colonel. She's not a colonel. She was a major in the reserve component. She may have been promoted to lieutenant colonel, but she's not a colonel. And there's no such thing as active. Is she still a member of? That's the right term. Yeah, she's a lieutenant colonel in the reserve component. Still a member, as far as I know. She has, and it must be the case because she claims she had a military phone and military stuff, and that stuff was pulled apart by immigration. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm on TikTok. I do lots of stuff, so let me see. But it's other nonsense. I mean, I had hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok, and so it all started with Kerry Lake in Arizona a couple years ago after the election in 2022. I did a video on TikTok where I already had an account, and I only had like 300 followers on TikTok. So I did the video on TikTok, and man, it took off. I had 150,000 views on the video I did about Kerry Lake, and lots of people coming. So I did it, and I went from 300 to 10,000 followers on TikTok by the end of January. In 5 weeks, it was incredible. And then it held, and it finally went up to 12,700. I've been stuck at 12,700 since April of a year ago, so over a year. It's total BS. TikTok is a fraudulent platform. They lie about my number of followers. I don't know why they do that. There's no way I'm not gaining followers or losing followers. It's just because I'm making money. I was never making money until I monetized it. Now I made 2 checks in the past several months. I've got $2 and something and $3 and something they deposited in my PayPal account. And I didn't even know about that. So because my channel's monetized, but I'm not even making content. I had 150,000 views. I got no money. I had 100,000 views. I got no money. Now I'm getting no new followers. I'm getting money. It's bullshit. So this is a video I made. This only has 390 views. So watch this briefly. This is on TikTok. Why is it silent? It won't. Sound isn't available. What the hell? They muted my sound. Look at that. No wonder nobody's watching. They've muted my sound on that. What the hell is that? This one they blocked. I have 0 views on this. So AOC is on the Daily Show. Right. Gaslighting America, talking about if you want to fix the border crisis, the problem is undocumented aliens. So it definitely is a problem. But the way you fix it, she says, is you can build a wall or you can build a path to citizenship. Well, we have a path to citizenship. Okay, that's listed as private. I never made that private. I never made that video private. I didn't make that video private on Twitter, and it says private, and it says 0 views. What the hell is that? So this one has 11,700. Hey folks, there's a lot of teeth gnashing and complaints going on about Cyril Ramaphosa's unseemly grab for the William Webb Ellis Trophy after the Springboks victory against the All Blacks. Yeah, so that one got 11,700. So I go back here, 2,000, 1,000, 7,000, 1,200, 5,000. But if I keep going back, I've got ones with so many thousand, 50,000, 100,000, there's 9,000, 8,000. I mean, I did a lot of videos on TikTok, and so I just gave up because it was bullshit. People aren't coming there, and it's just crap. So 4,600. I'm going back here. Let me load these up. So 14,900 views. Going back further. Come on. So if you wonder if I've been on TikTok, you'll see how long I've been on TikTok, and I've just put 38,000 on Andre de Ruyter, 42,000 on Faf de Klerk, 11,600, 39,000 on Katie Hobbs, 11,700 January 6th committee. What else we got here? Here's my V. This one is removed, and what the hell's going on there? It's blocked. This is a video they removed from me. I don't even know. It's just I can't even get rid of it. All right, so yeah, so you'll see how many videos I got in here. It doesn't say how many videos you have, does it? So I have 116,000 likes, but most of those came in a 1 month period. So here you go. I'll just show you. Look at this. These are how many I've done. And all over the world. South Africa, France, USA, UK. These videos from all over the world. This is from the UK, right here. Yeah, so you can see my content is from all over the world. This is my TikTok videos. I mean, I put a lot of effort into it. And they lie. I mean, here's 100,000 right there. 100,000 views on this one. Well, without intending, folks, it seems like ESCOM is becoming the subject of a lot of my video productions of late. Officials say that we are on the verge of stage 8 load shedding. Now, Ted Blum warned... That one had 100,000 views. That was before Ted Blum passed away. Yeah, so it's just a lot of TikTok. There you go. Look at that. And I mean, I cover everything. Here's me walking around on the ice. This one didn't have many views. Oh, forgot. It's got music. I can get rid of that. I'll get a copyright strike. And of course, these ones, you know, these only got a few hundred views. You guys saw these. Joe Biden's brain is on a vacation far away. When he speaks, it makes you wonder. Yep. So there you go. Look how long the beard is there. Anyway, that's hundreds of videos and 12,600 followers. That's just BS. So there you go. Unbelievable. So I don't trust them at all. They're just bullshit. TikTok. They take stuff away all the time. So yeah, I did the live streams and I had a lot of views, tens of thousands of views. It was much better than on YouTube. But I mean, most of that's people just flipping through. They come for a second or two, but still it was quite a bit. Yeah, no, I did it to try to get a younger audience and it paid off. Some people came to my YouTube. I was promoting my YouTube channel on there. But I mean, it's not worth the time and effort when they lie about the number of people watching you. So anyway, what else we got here? I missed some chat over here. Let me come back. Great. Now I need to worry about what I say online because my British passport might get revoked. Correct, Oliver. You must be very careful what you say online. What's up with Tulsi Gabbard being placed in the terror watch list? Well, she's an opponent of the Biden regime, and so they've gone after her. There's no justification. They claim it's a random measure, but it's bullshit. 4S isn't random. 4S designation means you've been put on a watch list, and it's basically a body cavity search. It's wrong. Utterly wrong. There is Lori Lettinen. I've been just moaning about where Lori has been. Lori has disappeared for ages. Greetings from Finland, listening while driving. Chris, I drove past Lappeenranta. Oh, man, you went to Lappeenranta. Dude, I'm coming to Finland. Lori, when I come to Finland, we've got to link up. Okay, I'm going to come to Finland. I've been to Finland. I want to go back to the Åland Islands, and I want to go to Finland. What do you say? What do you say? Are we going to link up, Lori? Maybe I'll come to the main part of Finland. It's been so long. I mean, I could get so much footage filmed from there. We could just do all kinds of specialist documentaries on Finland. I love Finland. Not so much since you've been flooded by immigrants from the rest of the world, but I do love Finland. I love the Finns, special affinity for them, but I also have a big affinity for the Estonians as well. Great people from the Finno-Ugric language group. And of course, I love Åland Islands because that's where all the Swedes are. It's 90% Swedish speaking. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, so Lori, I've got to get to Finland. We got to do that. It's what now? It's August. I went there in September, October. I can't go in October. It's kind of late to go in September. We'll have to see. Anyway, but maybe next spring. Yeah, but I got to get to Finland. Got to get back there, Lori. But we got to link up with me. So you have to send me your contact information if you want to. Anyway. All right, what do I miss here? Richard Kuhn is here. What can be underburdened by the past Karl Marx commie doctrine? You're right, Richard. You are correct. All right, I gave the update on Ronaldo. Have you taken a TikTok? Yes, bystander. There you go. Did you go check me out, Africa Matters? How do I share that? At Africa Matters. How do I share my link? Okay. See, it doesn't show me just, share your link. It doesn't do that. Anyway, you guys can figure it out. Just go there. Anyway, Mondre says, Chris, Ronaldo is a politician now. They lie anyway when they talk. If you say so. Beard is the thing of beauty, says Bystander. Well, thank you, but it's much shorter and under control. I've been trimming it up a lot lately. She is on the no-fly list. Yep, exactly. Sure, some texting autocorrects. Ronaldo. Apparently, Jess was sent by the Father in heaven to save us from our sins. Jess, I think you mean Jesus. Your beard was so long. Yeah, Dylan, it was down to my navel at one point. Big Daddy Jr. and the Spook. Okay. Kitchens have become the OnlyFans. Argue and fight me. Kitchens? OnlyFans? I have no idea what you mean. Fundi essay mensa ook, says Esther. Welcome to Andmo 2310 AI Recordings. Good to see you again. All right. Who else we got in there? John says, play the new Trump advertisement for people. It's got music. It's a copyright strike. Can't do it. Pretty with short hair, open ears. What are you talking about, Chantel? Are you pretty with short hair and open ears? What are you talking about? TikTok doesn't refer you to me, Chris. Yeah, exactly. Any news out of Burkina Faso regarding terrorism? No, I didn't talk about today. So N is race hustling again. It says, I'm wearing a Springboks t-shirt. It's not a t-shirt. It's a polo. First off, first one wrong. When you should be celebrating our black athletes who clinched the silver medal for South Africa, do you ever take time to introspect? You can go fuck off and stick your finger up your ass and spin on it sideways, N. You're a fucking moron and a dipshit race hustler, so fuck off. I talk about black South Africans all the time. And why are you obsessed with black South Africans? Are you a self-loathing racist? I mean, answer the question. What a piss-poor excuse for a human being. What a piece of human detritus to behave in such a fashion, to race hustle on my channel. We're race neutral here. You can go fuck yourself. It's as simple as that. How would you reassure industrial facilities? Well, I would eliminate the corporate tax rate at the federal level. Federal corporate tax, 0%. Not 21% like Trump did, 0%. We're only talking a few $100 billion a year, about $300 or $400 billion a year in corporate taxes. Don't need it. Cut spending. Across the board, today, every government agency, 10% cut. Deal with it. 10% cut. And of course, they'll come back, the bureaucracy, and fight and go, ooh, don't let people go. You don't let people go. Stop wasting money. Stop being ridiculous. Look at the South African Department of Homeland Affairs. 242 rental properties are leasing from around the country. Why are you leasing all that? Why don't you own those properties? Why is government leasing properties? Our government leases properties, but it's rare. The National Security Agency had to lease the National Business Parkway, NBP, where I worked at, but that was just because the Russians put spies in there and they kicked them out and then they leased it and they couldn't buy it. Anyway. Fiona's around Petra. She's just been very poor in poor condition, so she's doing all right. Are you staying up on a farm with a friend near Nokia in Finland? I don't have any friends in Finland. News out of Liberia. No news there. And Petra says her husband is naughty. Okay. It's been behind my news. Wasn't there a coup in Burkina Faso and the guys with Islamic extremism threats? I didn't see that. Okay. And it says you just uttered a lot of expletives that I have no capacity to utter. I was merely helping you help yourself. Well, you're merely being an asswipe is what you're being. That's you're being an irritating, race hustling troll. If you want to behave yourself, fine. Push it again, you'll get blocked because that's what you seek. You come here just to be a troll. Normally, folks, just ignore N. If he makes a contribution that's actually useful, I'll address it, but otherwise, just ignore him. Exactly. Anyway, it's sad these people come on here. It's their life. I mean, it's just self-pleasuring. It's how they get off. Bystander says, unreal that engagement online gets traction, but engagement in person becomes physical and a great debate. I'm not really sure where you're going with it, Bystander. Petra says, thanks. You're welcome. Oh, yeah, that's right, Eric. You have friends in Finland. Francois van der Westhuizen. How you going, man? How you doing there? Emil Theret. Anyway, let's talk about a little bit of news, folks, here. We do have some news to talk about. Now we've got through that charming conversation there. This whole scandal, this whole saga with the South African contestant for the Miss South Africa pageant and the attacks on her, the xenophobic attacks. Hey, Ann, are you listening? She's black, by the way. Are you listening, Ann? Can you keep your hand wherever it's at and still listen? Once again, talking about the abuse of black Africans. Let's talk about this one here. And the xenophobic, horrific comments coming out of South Africans and the attack by Gate McKenzie and others on this young lady. And it continues with Kenneth Kunene, the number 2 in the Patriotic Alliance, attacking her. Chidima Adenchina Saga, the South African Human Rights Commission warns Kenny Kunene, says many social media users don't understand the commission's role. The South African Captured Human Rights Commission says it noted with serious concern false and dangerous utterances made by City of Joburg MMC Kenny Kunene, also deputy leader of the Patriotic Alliance. Mr. Kunene called for the Department of Home Affairs to come to the commission to verify the identity and immigration status of people who work at the South African Human Rights Commission. Disappointing that a senior leader of a political party that is part of the government of national unity participating in an interview without factual information, thus continuing to perpetuate false information and disinformation about an institution established by the Constitution of the Republic. Wow, the captured South African Human Rights Commission, which doesn't follow its own charter and the law, is angry because Kenneth Kunene came after. Look, Kenneth Kunene is wrong, but so is the captured South African Human Rights Commission. And they go to the point of telling them what the purpose of the commission is. Well, let me tell you what the purpose of the commission is. It's not to persecute South Africans with criminal lawsuits. That's not their role. But Parliament established the South African Human Rights Commission in terms of Section 184 of the Constitution. The mandate of the commission is to promote, not prosecute, promote respect for human rights and a culture of human rights. Promote the protection, development, and attainment of human rights, and monitor and assess the observance of human rights in the Republic. That is the role of the captured South African Human Rights Commission. Not to attack Eben Etzebeth, not to attack Ronaldo Gos, not to attack Vicky Mabert, not to attack South Africans, black, white, and brown, who've said things or have done things. That is not your role. That is not your role. You've exceeded your role. You've exceeded your constitutional. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. On average, the captured South African Human Rights Commission addresses 6,000 complaints every year, providing redress to day-to-day challenges that affect people daily, including issues of sexism, racism, ableism, that's an idiotic term, homophobia, who's afraid of homosexuals? That's ridiculous. Who is afraid of a homosexual? What a stupid term. Xenophobia, service delivery challenges. It's the Human Rights Commission job to worry about your toilets and your trash? Rights of detained and accused persons. Isn't that what defense attorneys are for? And the promotion and protection of the right to Social Security. But that is the role of the captured South African Human Rights Commission, not to prosecute people. They have no charter for that. Yet they exceed their charter all the time. All the time. All the time. Mia LaRue won. She's deaf, I heard. Yes, that's correct. That is correct. She didn't hear it, but ooh, too soon. Too soon. And welcome to you, Francois. Charles thinks she's attractive. She's okay. Yep, she is indeed deaf and has a cochlear implant. Well, then she can't hear with a cochlear implant. Dude, nobody with an IQ above 10 gives a crap about SH human rights. It's a job creation scheme for caters. Yeah, you say that, but they bankrupt people by taking them to court and wasting their resources defending themselves. Yep. News sources are popping up right and center unless you're on the ground. The truth is lost and gained. Not necessarily true, bystander. Whoa, that's pretty loud. And there's a super chat from Brett for $9. Brett, sorry I didn't see your super chat. What does it say? Do we need Indian Affairs Committee, Indian reservations, discounted tuition? No, we don't. We do not. We do not. Indian reservations can exist because it's by treaty. They're allowed to. It's an agreement made by those nations and the United States. So they can have treaties, but we don't need a Bureau of Indian Affairs. We don't need welfare for Indians. We don't need all the money that's pissed down the drain for Native Americans. We need Native Americans to be part of America. If they want to practice their beliefs and their system on their reservations, that's a prerogative. But Native Americans are not restricted to reservations. But a news source, you don't have to be on the ground, bystander, to be an objective, analytic person. Ex-convicts, Canadian McKenzie are out of order. We know better than to give them power again, says. And well, the problem with that, then, is that you're wrong. Kenneth Kunene is a member of the Johannesburg City Council, and he has power over a party that got hundreds of thousands of votes, and his boss is the Minister of Sports, Arts, Culture. So he's got something to say. They've got power. They have power. I'm not sure what you mean. You know better than give them power. Brett says, since Mel Gibson came out with his movie, which addressed Native American brutality no. Oh, he's been attacked ever since then. He's been persona non grata in Hollywood ever since that. They use the excuse of him being arrested for DUI and saying anti-Semitic comments. But the real reason he's been blackballed is because of Apocalypto. That was a brilliant film, by the way. Absolutely brilliant and highly accurate film. And they just don't want people to know just how brutal the Mayans were and the Aztecs. These are very nasty people. Mike Marbury says, yes, Mia is white. I wonder if that's a problem. Well, it is a problem with, and I just went through all of, see, that's the other thing. So I went through the entire Olympics and the medals and talked about them. I also talked about how the South African men 4x400 relay, or 4x100, was an amazing race, an absolutely amazing race. And I didn't realize they finished second because of what was going on. It was a 4x100, 4x400. Yeah. Anyway, so I talked about that, and I talked about the silver medal. So, but N is just he's bored. Anyway, numerous Americans were worthy. Yeah, no. Look, it was a brutal continent long before Europeans came here. So are the Kamala crowds AI generated? No, not all of them, Arctic. Most of them, they bring a band to play. So they brought Megan Thee Stallion. Then they brought some local artists there in Wisconsin and Eau Claire to their crowds. And there's some rental crowds. There's Ronaldo. Good evening to you. Lots of things happening this week. Hopefully have a nice update by the end of the week. Sorry for being quiet, but fighting a battle on 3 fronts. Correct. Yep, there's Ronaldo. Bystander says, yet to see Mel Gibson, The Passion of the Christ, worth a watch. Braveheart was a huge, I had no idea the film was that long. I was at Iowa State University. I just transferred there to teach at Iowa State University. I was in the process of finding a home, and I think I did just find my home when that movie came out, or around, was it May or June of 1995 when Braveheart came out. And it was a Mel Gibson movie, and it was about, medieval times. And I'm like, okay. So I went. And the movie I was so engrossed in it. I'm just watching the movie, eating popcorn. And then they stopped the movie. I'm like, what the hell? Did the projector stop? And this thing came as an intermission. Intermission? Who takes intermissions? This isn't Europe. Well, it's a freaking 19-hour film. No, it's like 3.5 hours. So they took an intermission, and it was just a great film. Passion of the Christ, I've never seen. I have the DVD. I've never watched it. Nothing wrong with Gayton and Pete, says Petra Myberg. We should check the nationality of all politicians. You'll find a lot of foreign nationals in government positions. We've already seen that being covered earlier this year. Several foreign nationals actually working for Home Affairs. Braveheart was not very historical. Braveheart was fantastic. Great movie. Erica, just ignore. I've told you to do that. Ignore that person. They're just trying to get you riled up. Anyway, so Kenny Kanune, what a clown. We are scared to visit South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from security companies. This is the response they're getting from people coming. Security companies told as kidnapping sparked demand for protection. Look at that vehicle. That's a test vehicle for ballistic test, and they fired bullets at it. A surge in kidnappings in South Africa has led to a booming demand for bodyguards and private armored vehicles. It costs more than R500,000 to armor a vehicle, says one company, but the fear that has gripped ordinary people and business people is so intense that some of them are prepared to fork out the exorbitant fees for their protection. We're getting a lot more requests from delegates visiting from other countries coming to South Africa, whether it's a day or a week. They refuse to come to South Africa without bodyguards. Johnny Smith says, any comment on this issue about military training? I just saw the interview with the Hawk spokesperson. According to his comments, no laws were broken in the Modimoli incident. Oh, that's what someone's talking about. Modimoli, that's why they're talking about taking license away. Well, no South Africans broke laws, but the Libyans broke the law. The Libyans broke the law. They declared why they came to the country, and it was a fraudulent reason. They weren't getting the training that they said they were coming for. So there were laws broken. The SAPS guy is full of crap. They broke laws. So there's my comment on that. The Libyans were not doing what they said they were coming for. If I come to South Africa and they grant me a business visa to visit South Africa on the basis that I'm going to go there and do some work, then I should be doing that work. If I'm going to South Africa on the basis of a educational visa to enroll at UNISA in Pretoria, and I don't enroll at UNISA, I start a SPAZA, then I should be deported for violating the terms and agreements that I made. No, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. wherever it's at, Chantel, White River or Motomole, whatever name they're calling it, the camp that was there. I think I'd rather have it, mixed with the African name rather than, whatever. Passion of the Christ is pretty much a snuff movie. Ooh, that's pretty scary. Is it okay to attack Miss Heather because she's white? Well, it will be, LL Entertainment. I got to crack my back. Sorry, folks. Is it okay for me to crack my back? Oh, jeez. That's becoming too frequent an occurrence online. Anyway, so, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's my comment on that. So the SAPs, we know that SAPs tell us BS all the time. They tell us things are inaccurate, incorrect, unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm just not buying that story. ANC bigwigs are facing trouble. Brett Sessome's another super chat. After apocalypto studies about tribal warfare before the Europeans arrived, many Mississippians, Oklahomans questioned the need for Native American reservation subsidies. Well, when the truth is told about American history, first off, millions of people weren't killed by Europeans. The number of people killed were in a few thousands, and it was in the context of conflict. Many of the conflicts started by Native Americans. That doesn't make the Europeans innocent of everything. There was a period, about a 30 or 40 year period in the westward expansion, in which the United States fought continuous wars against Native Americans after the Civil War, and that accounts for much of the time when Native Americans were pushed back. But prior to that, for centuries, Native Americans and European immigrants got along, cooperated, intermixed, interbred, and they had a way to live with each other. I mean, we had Native Americans. The thing about Native Americans is most of them have disappeared. They've simply been assimilated. They haven't been disappeared. The big disappearance of Native Americans, that's a bullshit word, by the way. They're not Native Americans. They're not native. They weren't here. They migrated here from Asia 18,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. So they're not native. That's bullshit. This was a land depopulated by Homo sapiens. And multiple waves came. And people died out, another wave came. People died out, another wave came. But most of those Native Americans or First Nations, that's a better name, but it's a silly name, but that's a woke name for Canada. But most of the First Nations and Native Americans, those who died from diseases that arrived with livestock and with Homo sapiens. And most of those in North America who died, numerically, died as a consequence of influenza or measles or smallpox, which arrived with the Spanish in Florida in the 16th century. The Spanish established St. Augustine. They traveled throughout Florida looking for Ponce de Leon, looking for the Fountain of Youth, traveling around, interacting with Native Americans. And then Native Americans who interacted with the pigs and the poultry that were brought that spread disease, as well, the zoonotic disease, as well as the ones that were resident in humans like smallpox. Those folks interacted, caught it, traveled, traded with other Native Americans, and spread it like wildfire across the southeastern United States, up the Mississippi Basin. And that's where most of them died. They didn't die from being murdered or being abused by Europeans. They died from disease. And it wasn't germ warfare. It's just the nature of human life. It's a tragedy. It's horrific. Civilizations that had existed for hundreds, if not thousands of years, were devastated, in many cases wiped out. Tribes completely destroyed, obliterated. The remnants came together and formed new tribes later on. But that wasn't intentional. That's just the nature of life. You know, when a asteroid hits the Caribbean basin and wipes out life on the planet, it had nothing to do with white people colonizing. It had to do with nature of space. Anyway. Are you saying that you've never been trained in a base with a greater training potential? Who are you talking to? The Chickasaw tribe has been importing healthy young military-aged men from Turkey. What? What are you talking about, Lee? Importing? How are they doing that? How are they coming into the country? The spectrum of the far right and the left and far right, where do the middle bystanders fit in, caught between the BS? They're the ones with common sense and facts. Well, I am the person with common sense and facts, but I'm right of center. I'm a conservative. But I do reside near the center of the political spectrum. It's been proven most American deaths and mistreatment was from unintentional catching diseases. Yes, that's correct. There's a fantastic book called Not Stolen that talks about all the myths about European colonization of Americas and spells it out correctly. I want to get that author, but I haven't finished the book yet. Once I finish the book, I'll try to get the author on, and we'll talk about it. Yep, we will talk about it. Is Mark saying that to me? I've never been trained in a base with a greater training potential. I don't understand that. The Libyans were picked up by the airport by a general and sergeant major and loaded into army buses. Army buses. So the SANDF took them there? Well, now we got another problem. Is that true? picked up by military and taken to this base. Now we got a problem. If that's happening, there's definitely some laws being broken. Unless there's an agreement or approval by the parliament or the president to train Libyan military, but they're not a military. These are not, they were supposed to be security guards, but they're actually part of a militia. And that's a scandal. If that happened, if there was a general and a sergeant major from the SANDF using military buses from the SANDF to take them to that camp, we have a far bigger scandal than people are talking about when it comes to immigration laws being violated. Yes, the Vikings did land in Canada. They landed in what was called Finland, which was the place where grapes were. That's why they called it Vinland. And Vinland, for a long time, people couldn't figure out where's that. But Ans aux Meadows in Canada is the space they finally found in the 1960s, and it's definitive proof that the Vikings had a settlement or at least a lodging base there in Ans aux Meadows. And now they found proof of other Viking settlements throughout the maritime provinces of Canada, so the Vikings were there. They never had a permanent presence. The Skraelings, as they called them, that's not a very polite word for the Native Americans, the Skraelings. I think that means naked ones or something like that. But the Skraelings were pretty well equipped and fought the Vikings, and they had issues with them. They also traded with them, with the Inuit and others. So the Vikings were here long before. The Vikings they settled the Faroes, they settled Iceland, Greenland, they settled North America. They formed the original Kievan Rus. They served as a Varangian guard in the Byzantine Empire. They conquered Sardinia and established an empire there. North Africa, Tunisia, all over the place. Rome. They sacked Rome. Have you been to the Spanish fort in Florida? Yes, I have been to St. Augustine. I have been to St. Augustine in Florida. That's correct. Yep. I say reparations for no one. I agree. Why should I be paying reparations? If I start saying lit, no cap and riz. What are you talking about, bystander? African nations are not paying reparations. Yes, they're the ones that were enslaving people. Yep. Turkey infiltrated Native American tribes and may get congressional help. 2012. Well, if that happened, how come it hasn't come to anybody's attention? And where are these Turks at? That's 12 years ago. With regard to Libyan base, no evidence of what training took place. What training? Are you saying what training took place? All right, well, all I have to go on is what the media said. And I have analyzed what the media said. If they're lying and they're committing fraud, then I can't account for that. All I can do is address it. I thought we should judge kids by their parents' deeds of misdemeanor. No, you don't judge. I think you're being facetious. You don't judge children by the deeds of their parents. That's the one nice thing about America. It's a place where people start over. We're not judged by our parents' actions. That's how it works. Yep, none of the people who were harmed are alive today, and none of those who did anything. And I gained nothing from it. All right, so ANC bigwigs apparently going to go to under the chop. So you asked the question, is the ANC serious about corruption, or are these simply people on the outs for the ANC? I think it's people on the outs. ANC boss Fikile Mabulula has asked the Integrity Commission to resume processes against Malusi Gigaba, David Mahlobo, and Cedric Froelich, most of whom you never heard of. ANC Veterans League Zikalala told Sunday Times this week that Mabulula informed veterans that he has written to the party's Integrity Commission asking them to resume disciplinary process against Gigaba, former Minister of Finance, Public Enterprise, and Home Affairs. There you go. Mahlobo, the current Deputy Minister of Water and Sanitation, and a former Minister in State Security. Well, these are people on the outs of the ANC. The ANC is not serious about corruption, so don't get excited. The African National Congress, the Freedom Front Plus, apparently in talks to unseat the DA in municipalities in the Western Cape. The DA is causing problems. Yep, and they're blaming it on the Freedom Front Plus. ANC and Freedom Front Plus are in talks to remove the DA from power in councils across the Western Cape in spite of an existing agreement between the DA and the Freedom Front Plus to work together. Wow, the ANC confirmed to News 24 it's been in talks with the Freedom Front Plus, a party it considers to embody the spirit of the government of national unity, to assume control of councils governed by the DA. Wow. Corne Mulder told News 24, obviously we spoke to the ANC and other parties during the composition of government and local unity in Oudtshoorn on August 2nd. He said, we are committed to our coalition agreements in the Western Cape. We confirmed that again the DA yesterday on August 6th. However, the DA decided to break the agreement in Langenberg, not us. So obviously we will have to act in the best interest of the ratepayers and people of Langenberg to stabilize that council. It is DA arrogance and complete irrationality that has destabilized our municipalities. And I'm sure that Ronaldo is chomping at the bit to comment on this. Yeah, Ronaldo, that's a good one. You won't be the shortest MP in history, courtesy of the MK party firing over 20 ministers. Yeah, that's good. You shouldn't be fired. Not over that. That's ridiculous. Anyway, DA said that Freedom First Plus actions have resulted in a material breach of the coalition agreement and contributed significantly to break down the trust between the two parties. I'm finding that hard to believe. The DA is in a coalition agreement with Freedom Front Plus in 9 remaining municipalities, and there is Patrick's membership for 29 months. Thank you for that, Patrick. Like and sub, please do. Those municipalities are George, Swellendam, Cape Argolis, which is Bredasdorp and Struisby, Saldanha Bay, which includes Vredenborg and Langebang, Matsikama, which is Vredendal and Lutzville, Breed Valley, Toos River and Worcester, Witzenberg, Serres and Tulba, and Langenberg and the Garden Route District Municipality, which includes George, Neisda, Mossel Bay, and Oudtshoorn. So in those places, they have 9 coalitions, and only 3 of them are they outright DA leads. Yep. Hessequa, Berg River, and Swartland. There you go. The ANC informed the DA about their talks with Freedom Front Plus and said they invited them to discussions, but the DA didn't respond. Helen Zilla said the ANC has been letting us know about these discussions with Freedom Front Plus. That's all I'm prepared to say. Western Cape leader Tertius Simmers said where the principle being public advocated for in our province by the ANC and the province talks of stabilizing alleged unstable coalition councils. Many of the unstable coalition governing councils are governed by the ANC, the PA, and the EFF. Well, that's true. Yep. All right. So there you have it. Interesting. Well, it was Women's Day. We covered that. Now, apparently it's Women's Month. Women get a whole month now. What the hell? Anyway, so Women's Month. So what are we doing? We're out virtue signaling, showing how much we care about women. When we don't care about women, we just do it when it's press worthy. Well, not me, but government officials I'm talking about. Undocumented travelers, alcohol interception in KZN as women in law enforcement take charge. In commemoration of Women's Month, KwaZulu-Natal MEC for Transport and Human Settlements, Sibonitso Duma, on Saturday joined a successful women-led anti-crime blitz targeting vehicles streaming into the province from Eswatini, Mozambique, Mpumalanga province and areas. By and large, today's roadblock marked the beginning of an intensified integrated operation involving different law enforcement officers as part of a fight against the cross-border crime. More than 127 vehicles were searched and police supported by members. Wow, 127 vehicles were searched. And it was led by women. Woo! So what? Nonsense. Calm down. Just chill. Take a pill. That's what Jacob Zuma is telling folks. Yeah, he's taking folks. MK party tells abandoned mutineers while Zuma and Ace relationship hits a snag. Relationship between former President Jacob Zuma's MK party and former ANC Secretary General Ace Magashuli's ACT party is on the skids. Both parties in turmoil, with MK leaders meeting yesterday about the lack of leadership and interim coordinators' abandonment of KZN. Wow. In a letter to Zuma signed by the 9 interim regional leaders who attended the meeting, members expressed concern about the lack of effective leadership at regional political offices, particularly after the appointment of members to the legislature. Not looking good. Not looking good. Well, Miss Universe Nigeria invites former Miss South Africa finalist Chidima Atendechina to contest. As the controversy around former Miss South Africa finalist continues to unravel, organizers of the Miss Universe Nigeria pageant have extended an invitation for the model to participate in their edition. South Africa-born Atendechina has been embroiled in intensive nationality row following an uproar and when she rose to the finals in the Miss South Africa contest. So, here she is. That's a lot of makeup. So, we at Miss Universe Nigeria have been closely following the developments regarding your decision to bow out of the Miss South Africa beauty pageant. We acknowledge the circumstances surrounding your withdrawal and understand the challenges you may be facing, said National Director Guy Murray Bruce. Doesn't sound very Nigerian. Guy Murray Bruce. In light of these events, we want to extend our support and encouragement. We believe that your journey in the world of pageantry is far from over and that there are still numerous opportunities for you to showcase your talent, grace, and beauty. As a Nigerian by heritage, We would like to formally invite you to participate in the Miss Universe 2024 pageant. This is an opportunity to represent your father's native land on an international stage, and we believe you will be an outstanding contender, said Mary Bruce. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. Miss South Africa finalists being invited to compete in Nigeria. Yep. 2 arrested after the stoning that took place back in April around Cape Town. Oudtshoorn police, well, that's not Cape Town. Oudtshoorn police made a breakthrough last week when they arrested 2 teenagers in connection with the murder of an 18-year-old in April this year. Spokesman for the Southern Cape Police, Sergeant Christopher Spees, said the investigation revealed that the victim, Mulunzi Swatia, was attacked by a group near Black Joint in Bongolutu. When the victim arrived on the 20th of April at 2100, he sustained serious head injuries and was rushed to the hospital. He died the next day. So they made an arrest. 2 teenagers still in custody for that murder. The dude that got killed was black. Ooh, we're talking about black people being abused. Yep. Well, the theft of $350 million worth of minerals, precious minerals, 5 are behind bars. Michael Duplessis, Claudette Duplessis, Hendrik Filion, George Sambo, and Figo Tavavangi were arrested by Hawks. Wow. The accused were arrested on Wednesday, August 7th in Rustenburg and Brits by members of Northwest Hawks in collaboration with the KZN Hawks. Initially, there were 7 arrested, but 2, there was no evidence. They arrested them foolishly and then released them. The arrest follows information received about theft of suspected platinum group material in a mine at Rustenburg, estimated at 350 million rand. How do you steal 350 million rand of platinum? Man, that's impressive. I'm impressed. Well, the Chinese are sponsoring South African climbing teams. Well, why not? Chi-Com's whittling their way into everything. This is not their place to do this, but Chinese embassy injects money into cash-strapped South African National Climbing Federation team, which is headed to Guizhou. Yeah. Due to financial challenges bedeviling the sporting code, the South African National Climbing Federation has been running several campaigns to raise money to support the team headed to China, including a Back a Buddy fundraising campaign. But they're all white. You can't do that. We know white people are evil, aren't they? Look at that. All those people are white. This one here is kind of colored. That guy in the end looks kind of Arab, but they're kind of white. Why would you do that? Support white people, China. Isn't that evil? Aren't they the root of all evil? Colonizers? Rwanda's President Paul Kagame is sworn in as president for life, it seems. Yep. All-powerful President Kagame is sworn in today for a 4th term after getting 99% of the vote. Yeah, right. Several dozens head of state and other dignitaries from African nations joined the inauguration at a packed 45,000-seat stadium in Kigali, where crowds had started gathering from early morning, just like a Trump rally. It's like a Trump rally, man. Kagame. A landslide in neighboring Uganda has killed 18 people next to a trash dump. Torrential rains triggered deadly landslide at Kampala landfill, burying homes in the capital. Why are people living next to a rubbish dump? Police announced the death toll today, 2 days after torrential rain broke off a huge chunk of rubbish. The city's only landfill. A landslide buried people, livestock, and homes. Can you imagine dying buried under rubbish from a landfill? Authorities reported 8 confirmed deaths on Saturday, but the number has now risen to 18. My goodness. 14 people rescued, as well as several animals. Over 1,000 people have been displaced by the incident, living next to a trash pit. Good Lord. Did anybody watch that video? Did you see that hectic video of the Brazilian ATR 72 or 74 falling out of the sky? Did you see it? It's like it had no engines and it was caught in a wind vortex. It just did this as it came down. What a horrific situation, crashing in Brazil. I reported on that on Twitter. I didn't show the video on YouTube because it probably gets censored. Did you see that? Unbelievable. Just flat out spiraling down. It was a flat spin, man. It was crazy. It's like they had no engines, complete loss of power, and they couldn't even glide. Arctic is a pilot. I mean, why couldn't they glide, man? Did they get caught up in a wind vortex? I mean, it's my first thought. I've been on planes that have lost power. They've lost their engines. We continue on. It's like a helicopter, you know? A little more difficult in a helicopter. Man, called auto rotation in a helicopter. You learn to land the helicopter not moving forward with the blade still turning as you go down, a hard landing. What a crazy situation. All the people on that plane died, unfortunately. 62 people, 58 passengers, and 4 crew members. The grim task of identifying scores of victims gets underway. It landed in a residential area as well. My goodness. Brazilian emergency crews recovered the remains of at least 50 victims aboard an airliner that plunged to the ground in the town of Vinhedo near Sao Paulo, killing all 62 on board. The bodies of the pilot and co-pilot have been identified. Expected all the remains have been recovered by the end of today. All the bodies being moved to Sao Paulo's police morgue. 4 people with dual citizenship were among the victims, 3 Venezuelans and 1 Portuguese woman. The Venezuelans were... What the hell? Somebody's mowing. Excuse me. My neighbor must have hired somebody with a riding mower. It's very loud out there cutting the grass. Yeah, the Venezuelans were a 4-year-old boy, his mother, grandmother, local outlet. Oof, man. Volpas, which is the airline, it's crazy. Wow. They had an unaccounted for passenger originally. Well, we knew 58 now. It's ATR 72 is what is turboprop. I mean, that was just crazy. Crazy. They stalled due to icing, it seems. All the power in the world cannot get you out of a flat spin. Yeah, no. I know that. Once you're in a spin, it's almost impossible to recover. But how'd they get in a spin? I mean, so it was icing. Good Lord. Yeah, Jeanette wishes her at the Asina the best in the Nigerian pageant, but she hasn't accepted. 8 billion people, yet only this amount of subs. Bigger channels only sporting 300 million subs. Strange, maybe touching grass. Well, bystander, you're new to the channel. This is a censored channel. The only reason people find out about this channel is that other people tell them about it. This is a censored channel. All my content on YouTube is censored. The rugby less so, but definitely here. And that's the fact. I mean, I went in 4 months from 2 to 23,000 subscribers. I had 10 to 15,000 views every day, 2,500 hours of content viewed every day. I was making 60,000 rand a month in advertising alone in 2020. And then because I told the truth about what happened in Pennsylvania, not conspiracy theories, not Dominion machines, but the facts. I got attacked repeatedly, videos removed, harassed over and over again, dozens. I have all the emails of all the bogus claims, and then my refutation of it, and the videos restored, and eventually gave me a strike, gave me a second strike, took the channel down. I started this channel, and they hide the content. I only get here, so I mean, I only got to 1,000 initially because I was on Ronaldo's program. Ronaldo said go to Chris's program, and I picked up like 500 subscribers, got me over 1,000, so I could live stream again. And it was crazy, and it's difficult. I'd covered it endlessly, Ronaldo. You haven't been watching my program. Like, you're busy taking care of your own affairs. I've been covering the Tim Walz. He's the worst vice presidential pick in history, and there's no doubt about it, or at least in the last century. It's unbelievable. Icono says, I missed a lot. Yeah, you did, man. They stalled due to icing. That's crazy. Mr. Beast has 300 million subs. He now has allegations. My point, pardon. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know what your point was, bystander. No, I just, look, I mean, it'd be nice to get back to 20,000 where I was at in October of 2020 on this channel. The other channel still has 20,000, but that channel is hidden. Nobody can find my videos in the other channel. Let me tell you proof of shadow banning. When you're live streaming an event and people are in it, and you put the exact title, unique title of your video up in a search on YouTube, you should find your video at the top or near the top. After all, you're searching for the title of the video. But my videos don't even show up. I was doing rugby with the Springboks, the Portuguese game, and we had a very small crowd, very small, much smaller than usual. So I did a search for the title, and we went through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screens of video reference. So they're showing me all kinds of stuff, nothing to do with rugby. Mine wasn't there. I didn't watch the Kagame inauguration. Nope. Yeah. Beta test 2 days ago. What's the beta test? Oh, you're talking about on Kick. Yeah, I'm on Kick. And let's see if anybody came over there. Let me open a new window. Hang on, Kick. Okay, let's see if I'm still logged in or I have to log in. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I'm logged in. So let's go to my channel. Okay. Red Storm Rising. And I've got 19 followers now. Just the one video in here. Just the one video. And it was a test. So apparently you can only live stream on Kick, but I will do that. I've got to mow the lawn today, especially after the neighbor's doing it, trying to embarrass me there. But I've got to mow the lawn today, and once I'm done with that. But that Brazil plane crash, unbelievable, folks. Can you believe that? I watched that. Horrific. And there's nothing you can do. It's not like you can leave the plane. I mean, if you're able to get the door open and the inertia would probably keep you from getting out the door. And even if you got out the door, your body go out and you'd be hit by a part of the plane. And then if you didn't and you fell, I mean, your body might be ripped apart from all the, oh my gosh, terrible. I haven't heard about ground deaths, but it did land in a residential area. From that photograph I saw there, it doesn't look like it hit any houses, which is shocking. Oh, Muriel, we're talking about that plane crash, and I haven't shown it because YouTube will censor it. I know that. Remember a few years ago, I did a video of a plane, a small plane that crash landed on the train tracks in California. The pilot and the passenger got out of the plane moments before a train came through and just obliterated the plane. I showed that video on YouTube, and it was taken down for violence. I got a strike for putting violence on YouTube. Unbelievable. It was in the news. So it wasn't violence. Nobody was attacked. Nobody was shot. Nobody was murdered. A plane was run over by a train, and there was no one in it. No one was even harmed. Anyway, it's programming into their, what's this? The Olympics ends in an hour. Yeah, the Olympics is over. The last event was the U.S. Women beating France, and what a final. France comes back down with just seconds on the clock. They get down to the key, and the French, with U.S. defenders all over, French player goes up, shoots, banks it in, and scores. Or did it go straight in? I can't remember. I thought it was a bank. But anyway, I think it was a bank. Went straight in, or went in. They score. Unfortunately, she just passed the three-point line, and you can see it. She walked past, or she ran past the three-point line, then went in the air and scored. And so it's 2 points, and they lose 67-66. What a finish. What an absolute finish. The men were fantastic. Steph Curry was unbelievable. And they hate on him, too. Steph Curry, because he's not black enough. Ridiculous stuff. This is amazing to watch regarding UK social media's insane laws. Elon Musk. Okay. Well, I've talked about that endlessly, too. Let's see what that link is. All right. Elon Musk. Which one is this? Oh, that's Mr. Bean. That's funny. Bystander says, one Olympics from opening ceremony to the end, one for the records, unfortunately, but the wrong spelling of one. Yes and no. A typical Olympics full of controversy, female athletes being pummeled by genetic males and winning medals, and that's a problem. The vile, disgusting, horrific opening ceremony, which insulted Christians. Yeah, I know. Oh, Rowan Atkinson says he's against the law. Okay, well, I thought it was Mr. Bean. Okay. Well, am I going to get a copyright thing on this? It's 9 minutes. I'm not going to play all that. I'll play a few seconds of it, and then I'll watch it later on. But anyway, let's see. Here we go. All right, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean.
Consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. The most precious thing in life, I think, is food in your mouth. And the third most precious is a roof over your head. But a fixture for me in the number 2 slot is free expression, just below the need to sustain life itself. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life.
But not anymore.
And fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression, because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile.
Well, good for him, but average citizens are being hunted down by the fascist government of the United Kingdom. And in case you missed who they were, here they are. The United Kingdom. So bystander must have watched the whole thing. Oh, and now he talks about them. Okay, well then maybe I should continue a little bit further.
So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile. Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay.
Yep, that's a good point.
Or the teenager arrested for calling the Church of Scientology a cult.
Yep, well, the German government has declared the Church of Scientology a cult. So referring to the Church of Scientology as a cult, how could that be an offense? The government has determined that they're a cult. I'm not saying they're a cult. I have no interest in them. Tom Cruise is part of that. EDL is around. I saw the next. English Defense League doesn't exist. It was disbanded a long time ago. Yep. What's united about that kingdom? Yeah, exactly. Sick, and sickle. Yep. Yeah, the queen is gone. Just get to the part where he makes jokes about the jokes he made as a racist police officer. No, I'm not gonna mess around with YouTube. It's too dangerous. You see the self-censorship we go through, so we don't lose our content, we don't get strikes on the channel. Yeah, Yeah, even Mr. Bean is unhappy about the UK. That's a good point there. So Rowan Atkinson, a hell of an actor, a fun guy to listen to. I'm not going to show the rest of it because I risk, again, Ronaldo. In South Africa, you guys have a light hand. YouTube doesn't censor your content like they do in America. And so, you've seen this. You guys know this. We saw what happened. Let's go back to my trip in 2022 to Port Elizabeth when Ronaldo showed me around the exciting and glamorous town of Port Elizabeth. It's not exciting or glamorous, but it was a nice trip, and Ronaldo was very kind to take me around and show me all the sights to see. Well, we went out to the fabulously wonderful water intake facility out there on the beach, and he said, you should do a video about Eugene Johnson and Jick. So I did. So I did a live from the scene. So I was on the spot and like, this is Chris live at the water intake facility for Port Elizabeth, providing water for millions of people. And I'm here to follow Jick Johnson's advice to use Jick. Let me pour a few drops of Jick into your water supply. Then you won't have to do it out of your spigot. In 22 minutes, that short on YouTube had 9,700 views. Boom! We were driving back. I'm like, well, look at this, man. 3,000. We're almost 5,000, 7,000, 9,700. And then guess what it had from 30 minutes on? Nothing. In fact, let me go back and look for that video right now. Eugene. Maybe I'll just put Jick. Is Jick in there? Protecting Port Elizabeth's water supply, September 8th, 2022. It was a short, 1 minute on YouTube. Come on. Get up there. All right. Let's see how many likes I got on that thing, or how many views I got on it. Analytics. 9,800. I got 17 subscribers from it. Here's what it looks like on the screen. This is, you see this, boom, in the first 22 minutes, and then flatline because YouTube shut it down. They shut it down. And I was in South Africa. They figured out it was me. Look at that. Look at that blue line. Straight up, 9,700 views, boom. 709 days later, only 100 more views. 9,772. It had 9,700 in 22 minutes. This is the video. This is censorship. This is BS. This is what goes on. So here I am in this video. You guys can listen in, okay? Hey folks, it's Chris here west of Nelson Mandela Bay in the Eastern Cape. I've come out here because I'm trying to address community concerns. Yeah, I care about South Africans. I understand that there's been a problem with the water. We know day zero is approaching rapidly if it isn't already here, but also the quality of the water has declined markedly. So the mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, Eugene Johnson, is that it? Oh, Eugene Johnson. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, she said that you just put a little Jick in the water. And so I've come here to put a little Jick in the water supply. Here are the main lines right here that go to Nelson Mandela. They feed the entire town. I'm going to clean the water supply up. It'll just take a moment, folks. Stand fast. We're going to fix this right now. Hang on. So there you go. It's right there. We're going to open it up right here. And we're going to pour, what's that on? Something carcass laying there. Anyway, we're going to put some Jick in there. We're going to clean the water supply up. And Nelson Mandela Bay is going to be set with clean water. I don't know how much water they're going to have, but it'll be clean. Reporting live from the Eastern Cape, this is Chris. Be safe with Jick. Enjoy your water supply. Hey, folks. There you go. That's 2 years ago. 9,700 views in 22 minutes. And boom, the hammer came down. Yeah, so look, for anyone that doesn't understand, it's real. This stuff is real. Yep. Most important work that Rowan Atkinson ever done. Take careful. Yeah, probably Philip Merchant. Yeah. Yeah, no. I will listen to the whole thing later on. Thank you, Ronaldo, for that link. Jacques Funderberg, good evening to you. You just popping in? No, bystander, that is the real Ronaldo Jos. That is the real Ronaldo Jos. I know Ronaldo, that is him. A great ad, says Charles. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. It was Ronaldo's idea. He said do it. He said I should do it. He's trying to help my channel, and we picked up 17 subscribers from that. But I mean, if that thing had not been spanked by YouTube, imagine 17 in 22 minutes. I mean, let it run for a couple days. I would have gotten 500,000. Icon, so what are your thoughts on Ukraine airing Russian soil? I've covered that previously. I think, and I made the point that Ukraine is playing the victim here, but not anymore. You can't. It's like Israel invading Lebanon in 1982. It was necessary, but you can no longer play the victim card. Ukraine can no longer play the victim card. Of course, in my view, they've never been able to play the victim card because they have an illegitimate fascist government under that clown that's there, Zelensky. Was that going to get me arrested for saying Zelensky's a clown? I mean, he's the guy who plays a piano with his penis as a performer. And now he's president of a country. He runs around wearing military garb like he's some kind of great wartime leader. Who does he think he is, Stalin? Yeah, Jick owes me 10% of their profit. Oh, my goodness. Kana's laughing. Yeah. No, seriously, 9,700 views. In fact, if you guys all went there and watched that short for me, I wonder what would happen. Let me put the link out there. So where's the link at? Details. Here's the link. So let's see how many people actually go watch this after the fact, or just open up right now and open another tab and play it in the background. Just let it play and see if I get any views. Let's see what YouTube does here. I'm going to put it out there because we got almost 100 people here. We got 100 people here now. 94 likes. We can do a little better than that. Got some super chat revenue from Brett. Thank you for that. And membership renewal came along too. But let's see if it gets a spike here. So 97.72. Okay, I'll see if you guys today, before the day's over, can bump that up to 9,800. Joya Mensa says bystander. Okay, all right. I'm not really sure that phrase. I know what the words mean. Yeah, how much they pay for your ad? Nothing. They paid nothing for it. Well, there's more news. Ronaldo just gave a super chat. Oh my goodness, man, he's living high off the hog off of my monthly membership fees to his channel, and here he's coming up with a super chat. Thank you, Ronaldo. 7 rands, man. You're like Alpha Allison. By the way, where's Alpha Want? You think he would have come to my channel and shown some love and watched my content since Ronaldo's not on. But Alpha Want Allison is not here. So I'm just not taking that guy seriously. You know, I actually met him before Ronaldo did in person at Centurion. We went to the coffee shop there. A really cool coffee shop. What's that name place called? It's the chain that's out there now. Bootleggers Coffee, that's what it is. I kind of says, I saw Kagami's inauguration. I can't lie. Their military and police are kind of looking soft. Yeah, no. Look, their military and police are up to scratch. That's why they went to Mozambique. And that's why things turned in the favor of the government. Not because South Africans went there, not because the Botswana went there, but because Rwanda Defense Force was there. Yep. Please do the breakdance like the Australian did. Okay, sure. And that's all you get for 7 rand. All you get for 7 rand. 7 rand, you get this. And then we stop right there. You want more? You're gonna have to fork over some money. No, I didn't see the video. I didn't watch breakdancing is not breakdancing is not a sport. It's an activity. Sorry. Oh, Mensa engagement, fallen line sheep. Yeah, no. There's lots of sheep out there. Anyway. Ronaldo gave 7 rand there. Thank you for that, Ronaldo. I'm going to have to download that video from Rowan Atkinson. Thank you for that. And I'll probably use that for the basis of a lot of things. Let me do it download real quick. Thank you for that. Rowan Atkinson standing up for free speech. Wow, that's awesome. You know, it takes people like that who have notoriety, fame, and influence to change things. Yep, that's awesome. That is awesome. It takes that because those people have the reach. I don't have the reach. There's the Ronaldo super chat. You only get 1 ring of the bell for 7 rand. Come on, man. 7 rand. 19's a buck. Elon still donates Pretoria High School. Okay. Didn't know that. Dylan cannot breakdance. Nope. Yep. Please do the breakdance like the Australian. I got that. Okay, let me get back to a couple news items here. There were a few more things to the U.S. political side I want to get to. And for those who tuned in early, you got to listen to the V for Vengeance discussion. Well, apparently, U.S. is in secret talks to offer Maduro amnesty if he'll leave power. Wow. Are we really doing this? We're going to let him go? In secret talks, U.S. offers amnesty to Venezuela's Maduro for ceding power. A long-shot American attempt fueled by opposition efforts to document strongman's overwhelming defeat at the polls. U.S. is pursuing a long-shot bid to push Venezuelan President Nicklin Maduro to give up power in exchange for amnesty as overwhelming evidence emerges that last month's election was stolen. Wow. Can I say that on YouTube? Can I say it was a stolen election? Can I say it was a stolen election? The above was an Olympic sport. What are you talking about, Ronaldo? Okay, let me see. Is it going to be funny here? What's going on? That's not breakdancing. She looks like she's having a... She looks like she's having a freaking psychotic event. What the hell? That's not it. Sorry, I got to get the screen up there. What the hell? What the hell? That's, again, what an Olympics. What an absolute crazy Olympics. She got 0 points. Good. My 2-year-old does the same when he's not happy. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Water polo was introduced to the Olympics same time as rugby in 1900. Rugby was not introduced to the Olympics in 1900. Rugby was introduced to the Olympics in 1920. It was competed for in 1920 and 1924. I don't know about water polo. Yep. Wow. Casper DeFries breakdancing. You guys are out of control. You're out of control. I'm out of order. You're out of order. She must be Brock Pad. That's it, Hedda. She's Brock Pad breakdancing. Oh, gosh, bless. I can do that. I can do that. That's horrible. Unbelievable. It's not her fault. It's the stupid people who made an event. I think so, Mark. I agree with that. Maduro being offered a plan, and the man who survived Chinese prison because he was a Falun Gong supporter and discovered that part of his lung and his liver were removed without his consent. Unbelievable. Yeah, Leon Schuster must be laughing his butt off. Yeah, Cheng Peimeng was persecuted for his belief in Falun Gong and recounts the atrocities against him. A man who had part of his liver forcibly removed in communist China stepped forward after escaping the country. Cheng Peimeng, a Falun Gong member, was turning 59 this month. In an August 9th press event, recalled 6 prison guards pinning him down in a Chinese hospital to administer anesthesia against his will while being held in a prison in northeast China over his faith. That was in November 16, 2004. And when he woke up 3 days later, his right foot was shackled to a hospital bed. He had one arm receiving intravenous therapy and tubes in his feet, chest, and through his nose. He began coughing nonstop and felt pain and numbness around his left rib. Only after escaping to the United States in 2020 and taking a series of medical tests did he confirm his worst fears. Part of his liver was gone, along with a portion of his lung. During his speech, he took off his shirt and revealed an approximately 14-inch long scar around the left side of his chest. And there he is. My question is this. I don't doubt that they harvested his organs. We know that the Chinese communists are doing this to racial and religious minorities and their persecution, their human rights violations, and the ANC is silent. The ANC invites the Chinese to South Africa. They accept checks for the rock climbing team to go to China to compete in events, while Falun Gong and Uyghurs are murdered, raped, in prison for their faith, and it's unbelievable. So the question I have is, doesn't your liver regrow? Why hasn't his liver regrown in the 20 years since then, the 18 years? That's the only question I have here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Secret Service invaded a Massachusetts bathroom and occupied it, covering up the security camera as they stole this out-of-control rogue agency which fails to protect the President of the United States. Secret Service apologized after breaking into a Massachusetts beauty salon to use the bathroom before a Harris fundraiser, thereby misusing government resources to promote the candidacy of a leftist scumbag. They did not have permission to enter or use the building, says the owner. U.S. Secret Service was forced to apologize to a Massachusetts salon owner after her building's bathroom they entered without permission. The owner, Alicia Powers, says Secret Service agents put duct tape over security cameras and broke into her building by picking the lock. Then they allowed various people to use the salon's bathroom over a 2-hour period. Then a bunch of people in and out of here doing a couple of bomb sweeps again, totally understand what they're doing due to the nature of the situation. And at that point, my team felt it was a bit chaotic. We just made a decision to close for Saturday. Footage from the salon's front door ring security camera shows a Secret Service agent approaching the door with a roll of tape and observing the locked door and the camera. The agent then grabbed a nearby chair and stood on it to tape over the security camera. There were several people in and out for about an hour and a half just using my bathroom, the alarms going off, using my counter with no permission. And when they were done using the bathroom for 2 hours, they left my building completely unlocked. It did not take the duct tape off the camera. Powers told the outlet the EMS worker later told a Secret Service agent in charge for the day was telling people to come in and use the bathroom. The Secret Service told its agents would not have used the building without permission, but they acknowledged an agent had taped over the camera. They're liars. They're absolute liars. My dad and I own the building, and I have a crazy eccentric guy that lives upstairs, and he didn't tell the Secret Service they could use it, and I didn't tell them, and my father didn't tell them. They have no permission whatsoever to go in. And let me show you once again the out-of-control, rogue, corrupt use of government resources, the people who failed to protect the President of the United States, Donald Trump. This is what they did. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. This is what they did. There's a Secret Service agent. Look at her looking. She got duct tape in her hand. How can I get up there and commit trespass? Well, she'll commit trespass in just a moment here. So they jump forward. She gets a chair. She takes the chair over, sets it down, climbs up, and duct tapes the camera. They've covered the agent's face up. Look at this. They duct tape. He's coming in just a second. Here she goes. This is our Secret Service, meant to protect dignitaries, politicians, former presidents, and their family. Yet they intentionally did not cover the President of the United States, or intentionally lied about their failure to cover protect the United States, President of the United States in Butler, Pennsylvania. Muslim Democrats, a category we've never had in America. Muslim Democrats are buoyed by the anti-Semitic snub of Josh Shapiro for vice president and the selection of the old white guy, Timmy Waltz, to be the vice presidential nominee, the stolen valor Timmy Waltz, the leftist scumbag Timmy Waltz, who gives driver's license to criminal alien invaders. That Timmy Waltz, the man who gets a DUI driving 96 miles per hour, 154 kilometers per hour in a 55 zone in 90 kilometer zone. This scumbag Timmy Waltz, who gets a DUI driving under the influence and then gets out of it by claiming that he's deaf. Timmy Waltz, the congressman from Minnesota and then later governor, claimed to the district attorney that he was deaf and the police officer, he didn't understand his instructions. Well, of course you didn't understand his instructions, you slimy Democratic politician. You were drunk, driving 96 miles an hour in a 55 zone, endangering public safety with your outlandish drive. You weren't driving 96 to get to the hospital to take your wife to have a baby. You weren't driving 96 miles an hour to rescue a kitten from a tree. You weren't driving 96 miles an hour to save someone's life. You were driving 96 miles an hour in a 55 zone because you were drunk off your ass, operating a motor vehicle, a deadly weapon in the hands of a drunk like you, Timmy Waltz. And you didn't get convicted of DUI because you lied, you stole valor. Oh, I'm deaf because of artillery during my military service. What a crock of horse manure. I spent 36 and a half years in the military, served in combat zones, and was around artillery and rockets and explosions and guns going off. And my hearing is exceptional. Why? Because I protected my hearing. What did you do, Timmy? Did you not wear hearing protection? And how did you suddenly go from being deaf to being able to hear? I don't hear any slurs from a cochlear implant in your comments. You're a liar. You're a stolen valor piece of human feces. Timmy Waltz. That's what you are. Your campaign claimed that the reason that you had to leave the military, or that you had to leave the military, is because you were running for office. But that's a lie. It's a bold-faced, outright lie, Timmy Waltz. Members of the reserve component do not have to leave office or suspend a campaign for office when they're in the reserve component. That's not true. Tulsi Gabbard, serving commissioned officer in the reserve component. Scott Perry, serving commissioned officer in the Pennsylvania National Guard, from captain to brigadier general, serving in Congress. You're a liar, Timmy Waltz, and the Democrats that are covering for you are scumbag liars, lying to those who don't know better because they're too lazy to do research, too lazy to understand how the military works. What a shame. Stolen valor. And the anti-Semite Jew haters are out in full force. They're going to demonstrate at the Chicago. Can you imagine? It's 1968 Chicago. Remember that? Woo, that was not good. Now they're going to replicate that in 2024 with Muslim Democrats protesting because they feel that they have the upper hand now because they picked Timmy Waltz, a pro-Palestinian Jew hater. Yep. Wow. Muslim Democrats, buoyed by Shapiro snub, encourage mass demonstrations at the Democratic National Convention. There he is, little Josh Shapiro, the failed Attorney General of Pennsylvania, who can't uphold the rule of law. If bypassing Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro for the 2024 presidential ticket was supposed to lower the pro-Palestinian temperature at the DNC, the strategy backfired. Muslim Democrats are now calling for mass demonstrations at the August 19th to 22nd event in Chicago, citing Vice President Kamala Harris' selection of Minnesota Governor Tim Waltz as evidence that the push for a ceasefire in Israel-Palestine war is gaining momentum. Vice President Kamala Harris has finally heeded the voices of thousands of pro-Palestinian delegates, activists, and allies, said the Muslim Delegates and Allies Coalition said in a Thursday press release. This decision highlights the importance of staying engaged with the political system and actively participating in the Democratic Party's processes. We encourage mass demonstrations at the DNC committee this month and confront this foreign policy debacle. Wow. 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 Icona says, do we need Jeffrey Sachs to help us build our economy? No, Jeffrey Sachs is a moron. He's a PhD moron. Here's Jeffrey Sachs' solution to the world. If we all just gave $1, world hunger would end. If we all just gave $1, poverty would be over. The system is just wrong. It's unfair. It doesn't treat people fair. What a crock of nonsense. Jeffrey Sachs has been pimped and pumped and put up as a brilliant person. He's not. I've read his garbage. His solutions don't work. These idiots, leftists, think that human behavior and human nature don't play a role in poverty. People who are poor for a reason. Most often because of their own actions or inactions. Not always, but most often. People do suffer unfortunate circumstances from time to time, but that's not the reason most people that are in poverty. Pete is visiting. Don't misbehave or you receive a billing cock. Who's Pete? Times were so simple when voices were limited. We had those idiots online swaying ideas. Complete joke. Patriot says, income correct. Pete, best man for the job. We don't need Jeffrey Sachs. Nope. I mean, he's seen as a Putin admirer and did save Bolivia's hyperinflation. I disagree with the assessment of Bolivia and Jeffrey Sachs, just like Paul Kruger. These people. Look, I wanted to, am I actually connected? I might be connected to Jeffrey Sachs, but his ideas are nonsensical. They make no sense. They don't work in the real world. These leftists always live in a fantasy world. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. We can have the most stringent laws against child pornography. We can. We can imprison people for life. We can castrate them. We can execute them. But there will always be a segment of society that will violate social norms. Why? Because we're hardwired for certain things. Society's made the determination of what the age of consent is. But quite frankly, that wasn't the historical norm. As soon as females were capable of reproducing, they were normally engaged in relations that led to reproduction historically with the human race. There will always be people, a small number, who will do that. No matter how much everybody has. Everybody can have everything they want. You can have a genie. I would like a 16-inch pizza. Poof, there's the pizza. There will always be people who deceive, cheat, and mislead others. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed. I tell you that right now. There's no way it won't happen. There will always be crime. There will always be homelessness. There will always be hungry people. Why? Because we're dealing with humans. We're dealing with humans. That's right. And the left wing lives in an abstract world. Ideas they're brewed on universities and colleges with no relationship whatsoever to human nature. None whatsoever. I mean, honestly, look at N. What is N's problem? Why does N come here and troll like this? Does he get an orgasm from it? Does it give him a sense of rush that he's coming here being an asswipe? Really? I mean, those who watch my program know that I'm fair and objective. And I treat people based on who they are, not on what they are and how they behave. It's a fact. I have promoted languages that speak about black people. I have promoted culture that is black. I have promoted colored people endlessly. I've even spoken well of Indians. Yet we get shitheads like N coming on here and others with their stupid behavior. Because it's the nature of some slimy Homo sapiens. It's just that. You'll always get people who are fraudsters and cheats and liars. It's human nature. You cannot stamp it out with laws. You just can't do it. It doesn't work. We can limit it. We can reduce it. We can make things less attractive. The penalty is quite higher, which will get those who are marginal from doing it. And we can marginalize it. That's our best bet. We can marginalize bad behavior by Homo sapiens. But you can't eliminate it. You can't eliminate it. Tell me something. Tell me something. All right. Okay. This is going to be a fun poll. You ready? All right. Have you never told a single lie in your lifetime? Now, for those of you over the age of 25, this is going to be a challenge. Which policies of Sachs have worked where? Which policies? Tell me which one. Which policies Jeffrey Sachs have worked where, Akano? There's the poll. 9 people voted. Rugby and water polo were first introduced to Summer Leagues. Really? All right. I apologize, Garrett. You were correct. I guess I meant I was referring to the Americans one. Okay, my apologies. Okay, 1900. Mea culpa on my part. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you for correcting the record. I misspoke earlier. It was 1900. Thank you for checking, Garrett. Okay, wow, Garrett got me. Diane McMeekin got me the other day, but I wasn't really wrong about Diane. I was just joking around what I said about the PA. So, yep. All right, answer the question. 25 people answered it. Okay. Okay, so we have 25 votes and 80% say no. 20% of you say you've never told a single lie in your lifetime. And I'm going to tell you that you just did. You just lied. Everybody lies. Everybody, either through an act of omission or an outright lie or a little white lie to protect someone. Everyone lies. Come on, man. No one has never lied. I mean, you don't even remember your childhood. Most of us before the age of 5 don't remember. So the odds of you telling the truth under the age of 5 are pretty slim on some occasions. Look at that. Now somebody's going to take exception to that. Yeah, 20% just lied. Yep. All right. So the stabilization plan on price deregulation, particularly for oil, along with cuts in national budget. Now, those aren't Jeffrey Sachs's ideas. Those are conservative economic ideas. Jeffrey Sachs just told them to implement it. So, all right. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a conservative. He's not a conservative. He's a leftist with stupid ideas about how to end poverty. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so I'll accept that. But those aren't his ideas. They're not exactly original. Deregulation of prices. We used to regulate the price of fuel. We deregulated in the 70s, thank goodness. We regulated the price of airlines. And finally, we deregulated that, thank goodness. Europe regulated the price of airlines. So we also regulated price indirectly by limiting licenses and gates for letting people get into gates. Only so many planes can land at JFK. Only so many airlines can land there. Or this is this person's hub. This is this person's hub. And the Germans not letting other airlines land at regional airports. That drives up the price of stuff. That's an indirect regulation. All right, Icano. I'll accept that. Mark says a very badly asked question. It was a trick question, Mark. It was a trick question. It was a trick poll. You didn't get that? Oh, my goodness. Now we're dropping down 2 hours. It's time to wrap up on a Sunday, man. Let me see. But I still got news to get to. I want to get to this news. I took the trouble to actually research the news and read it. All right, 35 votes. I'm going to end the poll. All right, the poll's over. It was a bad question because it was intended to be that way. Matthew feels like he's being targeted. By whom? Yeah, the poor astronauts. They're still up there. They're not going anywhere, man. That sucks for them. Well, Paris Olympics ended today, and the USA women hung on for a 67-66 victory. I watched that game. I watched the end of the men's game. They're not really interested in NBA stuff and WNBA stuff, unless it's Caitlin Clark. But they managed to pull it off, the women. It was tight. It was tight. It might be the final day, but there are still 14 medals on offer. Really? Men's, rest, and women's. Okay. All right, so there's still medals on offer today, but they're all done with this one here. That was the last one. Yeah, USA women celebrate the gold medal game. There's Breonna Stewart in the top left. She was critical at the end, as was Kylie Copper. She was amazing late in the game. U.S. abortions. Now, remember when the Dobbs decision was made, the Democrats, stop an abortion. We can't murder children anymore. It's horrible. Oh, women's rights, reproductive rights. You can't use my body to reproduce. Stop having sex. Use contraception. That's how you don't have babies. Pretty simple. But what about rape and incest? We're talking about 1 out of 10,000 cases, and those cases have exceptions. But the evil Republicans in the Supreme Court have taken away my right to murder children. Really? As I said, abortion is not over, and in fact, it will increase. And look what's happened. The Voice of America reports U.S. abortion numbers rise since the Dobbs decision. Abortion saves lives? No, it doesn't, you moron. Wow. Abortion was slightly more common across the U.S. for the first 3 months of this year than it was before the Dobbs decision cleared the way for states to regulate it. Major reason for the increase is that some Democratic-controlled states enacted laws to protect doctors who use telemedicine to see patients in places that have abortion bans. Wow. So you can murder a child in another state. 21 days, Kamala Harris has been the selected, not elected Democratic nominee, and she's yet to hold a press conference. Wow. Vice President Kamala Harris gone 21 days without holding a press conference or sit-down interview since becoming the presumptive Democratic nominee. Wow. Amid mounting criticism, she briefly talked to reporters traveling with her in Michigan. Speaking for just over a minute, she said she looked forward to debating former President Trump. Looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to it, too. I'm getting lots of popcorn that day. The Harris campaign says that Timmy Waltz misspoke. Not that he lied. He did lie. Harris campaign says Waltz misspoke in a 2018 reference to weapons of war video. Minnesota Governor Timmy Waltz, the Democratic candidate for vice president, misspoke about the weapons of war that I carried in war. Republicans, including the vice presidential nominee, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, began questioning his military record after his name. Some of the criticism centers on comments in the 2018 videos circulated on social media by the Harris campaign in which he speaks out about gun violence. He says, we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are. Well, you never carried weapons of war. You're a lying sack of horse manure. No weapons of war, horse manure. Timmy Waltz. You're a liar. You're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar. Going to Italy is not a battle campaign. Black men rally for Kamala Harris. Yay! Oh, and confront an elephant in the room. I'm standing behind a black woman to be president of the United States, and it doesn't make me any less of a black man, said the Illinois Attorney General. Why would it make you less of a black man? What kind of moron writes that stuff? A day after Vice President Kamala Harris announced that she intended to seek the Democratic presidential nomination, more than 40,000 black men from across the country convened on a virtual fundraising call to discuss what the moment required. For 4 hours, one black man after another laid out the challenges ahead. Oh, whatever. Who cares? Steph Curry went crazy after winning the gold medal. Paints his masterpiece. What an incredible shot. He had 3 guys draped on him, and he dropped the shot that won it for the Americans. It's been an amazing Olympics for some Americans. This is a long story. I'll save it for another time. But my Red Storm Rising, let me check on that again. It's still 19 followers. California dam destruction is destroying the incomes, livelihoods, and the natural environment created by man, which is not so natural, in California. The effort to save salmon has meant the loss of man-made lakes and the tourism that they generated. There is an aerial view of the empty reservoirs that once held water behind major dams in the Klamath River. Look at that sludge that's there. As the Klamath Dam removal project, the largest in the nation, nears completion, reaction to the aftermath has been mixed, ranging from celebration to devastation. 4 dam removals and from their decades-long battle to restore the free-flowing river, while other residents and property owners say the destruction of dams and loss of man-made lakes is crippling tourism and recreational activities such as camping, water skiing, sport fishing, boating, as well as hurting wildlife and increasing wildfire risk. Some residents are devastated as she stood at her family's cabins in Northern California looking out over the Klamath River, where Copco Lake once flourished with wildlife and recreation. Chrissy Reynolds said she was overwhelmed with sadness. This is where our family enjoyed decades of life. 4 generations got to spend time here at the lake. This used to be our favorite sunset view. This time of night, this whole thing would be lit up. The cabins are now hundreds of yards from the river and sit next to mud flats after the reservoir Copco 2 dam was drained last fall. So here you can see it, the project to destroy the dam system. Yep. Within days after the reservoir was drained last fall, a water well that served about a dozen homes ran dry. They're destroying these people's lives for salmon. You can see what's left there. Empty pool. That used to be full of lake water. And this is where plants are sprouting and where it used to be the reservoir in the Klamath River. It's gone now. Water quality is atrocious. Water samples collected in jars to show the heavy levels of sediments. Testing conducted in February revealed several toxins after they found dead and dying fish and crawdads on the riverbank. And here's the project in California and Oregon to end the dams on the Klamath River. It's destroying things. So humans and their hubris. Kamala the Riddle Master. Yeah, she could be the Riddler. Could they not make the salmon steps? Yeah, that was my question. Newsom is going to be a great future president. Escape from California. Yep. All right. Patriot says, 100% right, Chris. You'll lie to protect someone. Fact. Yep. I've lied in my lifetime to protect others' feelings and others' welfare, so they were better off. Maybe if you guys went back to the slot system like the rest of the world, you wouldn't have 6-hour delays every busy weekend. Huh? What slot system? What are you talking about? When Chris announced the poll, I was thinking of you, says Hendo. All right. Bolivia's hyperinflation of 14,000. He advised at the request of this. Well, I recommended the solution for Zimbabwe to end its hyperinflation with trillion% inflation. Dollarize your economy. And instantaneously, the economy stabilized. Yeah, that's all it took. Stabilize the economy. That's all it took. All right, once again, folks, if you want to join me on Kick, I'll get around to doing some broadcasting on there. Maybe tonight. It'll be late for South Africans, but for others, you might be able to watch it. It's only live streams, and it's a little awkward because it's behind, so I'll get accustomed to that. But Kick has got a big audience, so I'll start doing political videos on there. Red Storm Rising is about conservative stuff, so I will be doing Red Storm Rising. I don't promise tonight, but I'll try. I may be knackered after doing all the mowing I've got to do. So anyway, but Red Storm Rising, that's the plan. That's on Kick. You can go check it out if you want. Yep. Snake Plissken. Yeah, that's a great guy. All right, we got 114 likes. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. And Bad Town Planning money. Yeah. Opinion on Botswana Vision for 2036. I haven't read it. I stopped reading Botswana's 5-year plans because they never come true. They make some progress, but they never really come true. So and also I'm tired of the BDP. It's time for them to be out of government. Yep. Richard Kuhn says, let me go look for Kick. Red Storm Rising. Yep, you'll see a picture of me. All right. Okay, I think you have to have an account on Kick, so you have to sign up, but it's free. It's still in a beta, but it's got millions of viewers. All right, watch a documentary on Three Gorges Dam. If nothing goes, it'll affect the whole world's economy. Yep. All right, folks. There you go. So Hendo says, uncensored USA elections coverage on new alternative media platform, Kick. Yep, Red Storm Rising. There's the link. Please become a subscriber. We got 19, and all we did was a test so far. It was my viewers from here who joined us. All right, I got a break here. It's after 2 p.m. on the East Coast, the U.S. Congratulations to the Sharks, who pulled off a big victory earlier, to the Springboks early in the weekend, to the Bulls, to the Cheetahs, and, congratulations to all those teams. And this week, my news programs will be from my mobile again. All right, I have unanticipated consulting work to do with the War College, so I'll be broadcasting on my mobile device, so it'll be difficult for me to see the chat. We've done this in the past. It's also hot outside, so that's going to be brutal, although the weather is really nice right now. So, Hendo, I need to take a break, get something to eat. So you're all very welcome. Thanks for being here. But this week will be weird. Wednesday, I got to look and see what's going on with my rugby and with Venetitoy. Okay. All right, so we're not going to do, I just saw it from Vaynet, we're not going to do Fireside with the Colonels on Monday, which I'd promised because Vaynet can't do an alternate time. So as far as MW, let me find MW. Okay. All right, so I'll have to sort that out. Yeah, it's going to be postponed. He can't do it earlier. I offered to do it on my phone and record it in the cloud. You know, Kamala's cloud. It's up there in the cloud. But Vaynethan's not available, so we'll just postpone it for a week, okay? We'll be at the War College doing consulting all week, so I'm only available on my mobile during breaks for lunch and that sort of thing. So anyway, in short breaks, if I pop out, if there's news breaking, I'll cover it. But anyway, there you go, folks. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you later on. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. There's 119. Got some super chat money. Thank you for that. We kind of slowed down here recently. Let me see if this video got any more views. 9772, 9789. Look at that. We got 17 views because you guys went over and checked it out. That's the UJIC video. Thanks for watching that short. Maybe a few more people watch it. It'll get back in this cycle. It's old now, but it's just funny. Patriot says town planning should be done by proper town planning engineers, not estate agents. Well, I am one of those people. I've done postgraduate work in community and regional planning. Who knew that? That's right. Iowa State University Community and Regional Planning. I've done it. I've done population estimates. I've done city planning. I may be a colonel, but I've got a very diverse background. All right. You're very welcome for the broadcast. All right. Thoughts and prayers to the loved ones of that doomed ATR 72 or 74 crash in Brazil. That was horrific. That spin was terrible. Must have been horrible knowing they're going to go. Anyway, thanks, folks. God bless and take care. Cheers. Be safe out there.